Hello, everyone. Welcome to the show. We are the Divided People. In this episode, we have two rappers, Nate the Voice and J.Quick, who we got on the podcast just to kind of BS, talk about music, and just have some fun. J.Quick has his newest stuff out. It's called Honest EP. It's available on all platforms. It's also on YouTube, so check it out. Nate has Halloween's Hiatus that came out. He's also currently working on another one. I believe he said it was Coyote. You listen to the podcast, you can find out about that. Whispers, he made a music video. It's on YouTube. It's really good too. I think y'all should check it out. Also, if you like this podcast, please subscribe to us on any social media. We are on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter. We are called The Divided People. If you'd like to be on the podcast, just message us. We're willing to get anyone and everyone on. We just like to talk and like to hear other people talk or discuss or debate. That's what we're all about. Also, No Roads Media dropped a trailer recently for their Return of Crystal Lake for Jason. Check that out as well. That's also on YouTube. They will be releasing in mid-July. As of right now, hopefully it's be released soon. It's going to be good, though. It's worth the wait, guys. I'm telling you. So, anyway, yeah. Enjoy the show. And we are live.
We live.
I'm your host, Marky Mark. Co-host, Lance. Shitty person. With us today, we have...
Every episode he has to
I didn't do it last episode, but I have to shit on you this episode a little bit more.
Yeah.
I didn't do it any last episode, so you're fucked this one.
You're a cable man.
You're a cable man.
I am right now. It's
Who
true.
boss hates you?
It's true. It's true.
With us today, we have J.Quick
What's happening, world?
and Nate the Voice.
We here.
So, they're but rappers. I don't know if I mentioned that. I'm kind of drunk right now. But hey, whatever.
It's not fair. He's ahead of
They
everybody.
bring us on the podcast when they get drunk. I like this, huh?
So, let's start with, when did y'all know y'all wanted to be rappers?
Go ahead, Jay Quick.
I feel like I knew I wanted to make music really when I came out the womb.
Speak up a little bit.
Yeah.
He was spitting rhymes right now. You heard that?
But nah, for real.
Gigi guy.
Yeah, man. I knew I wanted to make music when I came out the womb and everything. I was around hip hop and shit. My pops had me listen to a lot of old school records. Pac, Big, NRE, Nori, Mobb Deep, all type of shit. Real hard, aggressive hip hop. And especially growing up where I was at, it was hard times. So you wanted to listen to music that kind of related to your story and related to shit you was going through. And that what made me want to get into music. I was like, if these people can tell their story with beats and rhymes and instruments, then why I can't do the same? So that's when I decided to make music.
Yeah, well, for me,
No, you good.
I'm good. I'm good right
His
here?
voice
Okay.
is a little smoother.
Okay. Well, for
Fuck with you
me,
is JRE. No,
You carry.
for me, it's a little bit different, than being a white guy from the country. You grow up on. You don't really grow up on
He
hip
told me that,
hop.
and I was like,
It's kind of
Like,
it's
I was
kind of
like, yeah.
weird. The path that it all that I went down to get to this point.
Well,
It's kind of interesting.
it was funny because I told him about you before
Yeah.
this episode, or when we were first getting the podcast. I'm like, yeah, he's a rapper. He believes in this and this. He goes, really? Yeah. And he's like, I'm like, yeah, he's a cool white dude. And he's like, oh, he's white. Damn. He's like, I thought you were going. I'm like, what? Is something wrong with that?
Nah, it's just I get it though. I get it though. Like you want that diversity you're talking about, but like, yeah, it's what I always
oh,
think
that's
is
pretty
interesting.
diverse. Yeah, white
Yeah,
rappers
you
pretty
are diverse for what? I mean, not a
Yeah.
lot of-
I don't know a lot of white rappers.
Do a lot of different things, but like what I always found to be quite interesting is the similarities between the culture of like the hip hop culture versus the culture I grew up in. There's actually a lot of parallels. I'm not really gonna get into all that, but there really is. And so for me, I've always loved music. I know I always loved music. I knew that much, but what my love for hip hop started was my brother. He actually did a rap song for a school project, and it was like so smooth. Like I remember listening to the song that he made, and I was just like, whoa, I wish I could do that. And it's my older brother. He's about 6 years older than me. But I liked at the time. I liked a few rap artists. I loved Lil Wayne. Of course Eminem. The basic stuff you was hearing on the radio. That's really all I knew at the time. But then
What generation of rap did you grow up in?
The generation of rap. I mean, I discovered the hip hop of the '90s later on in life, and that's what I love now. But at the time, the first hip hop I think I got onto was like the Eminem that was doing like cleaning out my closet and like toy soldiers.
Shit, that
and
was the
stuff
best
like
Eminem.
that.
I got a funny
Yes.
story about that. My mom
Yes.
said one of her biggest regrets is not naming me Marshall Mathers after her man. When I was younger, she used to rap to me, Eminem. Like,
Really?
there was no lullabies. It was a straight Slim Shady.
I don't think my mom knew what rap is.
Hush, little baby, don't you- That is a lullaby.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, so it started there, and then in 2004, I think it was 2004, whatever Hurricane Ivan was, I think it was Hurricane Ivan. It was like,
Right before Katrina.
yeah, it was before Katrina. I know that. We went to a relative's house in Texas and stayed over there, and one of the relatives gave my brother a CD, and it was the Paul Wall Chameleonaire project that they did together, and brought it home, and I just was obsessed with that music. I was like, whoa, I really like that Southern sound. Like, I never heard that before, really, you know. So I gravitated to that on day one. And, you know, like I said, at that same time, my brother had that little project that he did, a little school project. And then he started actually writing real songs whenever I told him that he was talented. I was like, man, you're really talented. You need to write real rap songs. And he started doing it. And then me being his younger brother, you know, I looked up to him and stuff. I was like, I want to try that too, you know. And then I think I was 12 years old when I wrote my first song, and it's probably terrible. If I had to guess, it was probably terrible. But my brother was like, yeah, just keep doing it, you know, because he didn't tell me it was good. He was like, just keep writing, man, just get better, you know.
Well, that's a good
And,
encouragement.
yeah, it is.
I mean, I'm sure everybody writes, you know, out of 100 songs, you might get 5 that are
Right.
really, like, great. I mean, but hey, just keep doing it. Eventually,
Yeah.
you'll get something good.
You don't know how many
Yeah.
times I threw away
Yeah.
like short like stories. I'm like, fuck that garbage.
Wow, I sucked at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah, my brother, he's got the he had it much more naturally than I did. He had it right off the bat.
Is he still in it?
Kinda. He is going to release a project. You know, I just got studio equipment at the house, and we're gonna get over there and we're gonna record some stuff once I figure it all out. I'm not a producer and engineer or anything like that just yet. But
Yeah,
I
we're learning
do
about
plan
that.
on.
We're learning about that.
Right, I'm learning the same thing. I'm trying to figure it all out right now. So as soon as I get to a point where I'm confident in my own material, like, you know, producing and engineering and stuff, I'll start releasing projects from the house, and that's whenever it'll get really good, I think.
mean,
But
Lil Nas did from a closet, huh?
yeah, that dude there. That's how did that blow up? Explain that one to me.
Who?
Lil Nas X,
Fucking
Old Town Road. I'm gonna take my horse to
Some
Old Town
people,
Road.
you know, some people they probably think that's kind of combining cultures and this and that, man. But if you really a hip hop head, it's really a disgrace, in my opinion.
I don't think it's more.
It's
people
not
think
hip-hop.
that. That's just
Yeah.
people.
It's not hip hop.
People like.
I
Simple.
know it's not.
But
That's why I don't.
I think it's catchy.
Yeah,
I
that's
have.
the thing.
I listened to it a few times. I thought it was kind of catchy.
Well, people
This is
like
my opinion.
simplicity right now.
They
That's
do.
what I feel like.
That's what they like.
They
Simple
do.
beats.
Yeah.
That
Was it the
repeat songs that they
mumble
don't
rap?
want to shop.
Mumble
They don't
rap,
wanna
good
shop
shot, good
anymore.
beat,
Right.
just a couple of words.
Like I would think if someone like Lil Wayne or Eminem started off this year, I don't think they get where they were or where
No.
they are
Yeah.
now.
Well,
No, they wouldn't.
No, you
It's
couldn't
too hard.
compare a lot of stuff going on now compared to
Yeah.
the old
Music,
school
because it's
hip-hop. I mean, they're not comparable.
it just
Yeah.
changed so much. Changed so much now.
what's sad is like I don't even think like Pac probably wouldn't even make it in this generation.
Just like this rap beef shit that be going on, man. Back then, when people had rap beef, they took that shit serious. Wasn't no internet beef, no Instagram, no nothing. We showing up to your house. Nowadays, you can hide behind a phone, a computer, anything. You can say whatever you want. You can be all on the island somewhere. Nobody get you. But back then, these people had to see each other.
Yeah.
They really did. Tours,
Right.
Summerfest, shit like that. They didn't have all that
They
shit.
were working, living, everything in the same area.
Exactly.
I mean,
And
you
that's
actually had people getting killed. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, you had
Going back to
one rapper
Tupac and Biggie.
that actually
Right.
got shot right in this generation.
Yeah.
The other one, the
Talking
other
about
one,
Nipsey Hussle.
well, Nipsey too. Sorry, but I was talking about XX.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
sad.
I think
man.
a lot of that comes down to.
Did
I
you
mean,
like-
back then? You had people, the rappers back then. They were thugs.
Killing-
I mean,
they
they
was
were
thugs,
They were
but-
gangsters in the street. Nowadays, you got guys that.
But they
XXX
got
died
what
from
they-
somebody
they
just
still
hating on
claiming
them
to
in
be-
the streets.
Did you like X?
I didn't like, rest in
See,
peace
I
to him,
did.
but I didn't really, listen to music or nothing. But he died because of somebody hating in the street. Just, man, he got all this money and shit.
Yeah.
He think he big ballin'. We gonna show him what the fuck, we talking about. Let's pop his ass, some shit like that. But back then, rap beef was, oh, you diss me, I diss you.
Oh,
Fuck
yeah.
the music. Let's take it to the streets. Yeah, so, you can.
It's not like that really as much
Yeah,
anymore.
it's not like that
I
anymore.
think some of them learned though that when they're beefing with each other, it's actually selling more. They're both making more money when they beef.
That'd be the whole plan
They
behind it.
selling music that way.
I mean,
Yeah,
shit.
like the Drake and Pusha T stuff.
Dude, when Eminem goes off on somebody,
Yeah, MG
people
Kelly.
eat that shit.
MG Kelly had a spotlight for a couple weeks over
Couple
that.
weeks,
And,
yeah.
like, but like you listen to him now, I told people personally, I'm like, Eminem did him a favor because
He did.
that was the best.
Did nobody-
That was the best song that Machine Gun Kelly ever.
I feel like that's why they do it though. I think they
Yeah.
they target somebody like Eminem. Why? It's gonna make him famous.
Yeah.
Well, it was the fact Eminem kind of targeted him first in the album. If you want to go back to the tweet before, we could. But in his album, when he talked about it, Machine Gun Kelly, I feel like it pushed him to a different level, which he wasn't ever there before. And then he came out with that diss, and I thought that was the Rap Devil was one of his best work. I thought for Machine Gun Kelly.
Probably 'cause he
if
had
you've
to.
I don't know if y'all listen to him.
What it's called?
His
Rap
diss,
Devil.
Rap
Yeah,
Devil.
yeah.
But, like, I don't know if
yeah.
you listen to his other stuff.
It's garbage.
It's garbage, but that's the only thing that, and it's not just because it's a.
Y'all
just
remember
Eminem.
when he went on the Breakfast Club and Charlamagne was like, "You trash."
He is. He
And-
bet off
and-
acting.
and he started rapping and everything, and he was like, "Nah, you still think that's trash?" Charlamagne was like, "Yeah."
But you know,
God, that's
it's
terrible.
funny. The last interview they did is flipped. They're cool now. It's all good.
Oh, they cool now?
Because if you
I don't think I could be cool with somebody that
Well,
just
that's
was
the
like,
thing.
"You trash."
P Diddy owns all that, so it's kind of like let's play nice.
Right.
Oh,
Yeah,
somebody-
he is
Boss
signed
man
with
making
Diddy.
them play nice.
Yeah, make him
Yeah,
play
he
nice.
signed, 'cause-
They know who signs them checks.
See, that's what's
They know who
different.
signs
though.
them checks.
Yeah.
See, that's what's different though. Yeah, I mean, rap and hip hop went through a big transition over the years. I mean, when it first started, I mean, it was more localized, like y'all are doing it,
Much more,
doing your
yeah.
own thing. Nowadays, a lot of these guys out there are doing it where they just falling under somebody's umbrella and they're like, please make me a star.
That's
Yeah.
it.
And
No
they're
passion, no
not
nothing.
they're not real anymore. It's not like
Right.
it used to be. It used to be everybody, and then you went through the phase where everybody was starting their own production companies. That's when you started getting cash money and all that. And, everybody started getting. And then they were beefing with each other. I mean, all the companies were beefing with each other. I mean, it was interesting. It was entertaining, and we got some good music out of it. But
What? Yeah, you had Death Row Records, you had NWA, you had, and you ever looked at the fucking Death Row Records logo? It's somebody in the fucking electric chair. Like, come on, they selling this shit like Death Row fucking Records. You in this
Yeah.
shit, you gonna die, motherfucker. Like, what you gonna do? You gonna do?
When do y'all
That
think
shit
it
crazy.
changed?
Far
Internet,
as-
man. Internet
That's
changed
true.
everything.
Internet?
Internet
Oh,
changed
yeah.
everything.
I
Most
think
Changed
definitely.
everything in music.
I think the
Yeah.
internet,
The
and-
distribution completely
Yeah.
changed.
exactly.
Distribution.
When people started downloading music, you
Music,
didn't have to.
yeah.
You didn't have to buy a record.
You
anymore.
don't have to buy nothing. That's why streaming
Well,
is so
I-
big now. You make money on streaming.
Yeah.
Nobody's
So-
buying it anymore.
I kind of meant like the whole mumble rap kind of scenario. Like,
Oh,
it went
that.
from lyrical to wait, what? What? Like, I personally started recognizing it because I'm not into rap as much.
Yeah.
I'm a basic
I think it
white
was Lil
boy.
Wayne
I'm
and
into,
then
I'm into
Future.
anything that's
I-
good.
Well, I don't know. Like, I started noticing when like Designer dropped, like
And
came out.
Migos.
Oh, man, it was
Migos was really
And
the
so that's
beginning
when I
of
noticed
mumble
it.
rap.
But to me, man, I think it still goes down to Wayne, bro.
With
You
the
think
mumble
Wayne
rap.
made it worse?
Yeah, I think
That he
I
made
think
it
Wayne,
worse?
I think Wayne was that door opening to like you could do whatever.
Yeah.
'Cause, I mean, he did like
You don't
so
have to
many
make
different
He
sense.
was,
stuff,
but
man.
he
You don't
was
have to
still
use
spitting real
words.
shit.
Yeah,
He was
yeah.
spitting some
I mean,
real
I'm not
cold
saying
shit.
Lil Wayne
yeah.
is not one of the best rappers to ever live because he obviously was, but he did stuff that's like
He's not dead.
like all right, you put some of the stuff Wayne did in front of the OGs, and they're like, oh, this is great, and then you put the other stuff he did, and they're like, what is that, bro?
Well,
So
that's
think about that for a second. So that's that transition, I think. And then I mean, who was the other big rapper at the time? It was like Eminem, 50 Cent, guys like that.
Eminem was more.
before.
Yeah, Eminem was more in the 90s. He was big when Dr. Dre
The
signed
man
him.
got big. He got big late. Recovery was a huge album.
Well, he came
So
back
I'm
after.
saying-
Yeah, when he came back.
What I'm saying
yeah.
is this. What I'm saying is this. So you got Wayne, and then all of a sudden you get this chain of these guys, like Future came around. I remember when Future first came out, all he had was like mixtapes and stuff, and people were like, "Man, check this out." I remember people in school, when I was in school, they were like, "Check out this," and I'm like, "I can't understand what the hell this dude is saying." It's drowned with auto tune, and he's like half-ass singing, half-ass rapping, and I'm like, "What is?" I didn't really like it at first at all. And then all of a sudden, they just had all these other guys just start coming out of nowhere. You got the, the Uzi Verts, the Lil Yachty's, and all.
I think
this
it's
kind of
funny when you
stuff.
talk about the mumble rapping because it's funny also because I grew up. I mean, I'm a little bit older than some of y'all. I think. How old are you?
I'm 25.
How old are you?
I'm 23.
Yeah, see, I'm in my 30s.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I grew up through all these generations, and it's funny because I actually noticed as the mumble rapping started coming to be, the way people spoke actually changed too. People actually started doing the like speaking like the mumble rap. I'm like, wait, what? I'm like, what did you just
You look
say?
at these old school lyricists; they spoke extremely clear.
They were very. It was a
Yeah.
big
Clear.
deal back then to be
Yeah.
clear and
And
concise.
have a
Articulate,
nice
yeah.
big vocabulary to emphasize your
Yeah,
words.
and
You
that was-
wanted the people to know what the fuck you was talking about.
And
Right.
yeah, you wanted to sound very intelligent.
Yeah,
You wanted to
exactly.
use big fancy words, sound intelligent, like you knew, and you had some deep thoughts.
right.
Now, a lot of them are just mumbling stuff, making up words. They ain't even real words. I mean, they mumbling, making up. And I'm not saying you can't do that. Okay, there's all kinds of music.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm just
Yeah,
saying.
absolutely they can. They're making millions.
Exactly. I'm not saying you can't do that. Okay, your art is your art, but don't try. I don't like that they tried to call it something. You know that you got this guy who's a very clear, concise rapper who's very linguistically skilled, and then you got this guy mumbling. Okay, call your music something else. You know what?
Yeah, I do think there needs to be another genre because I'm not one of those people who think that mumble rap doesn't belong. Like I think that there is something there. There's melodies. There's things that it is a form of art. I don't think it takes as much thought as what like we do.
It's not comparable to
But it's
this
funny
kind of,
because
you know.
rock music, they get all these new categories.
Yeah,
almost
Right.
every
hundreds
week.
of genres in
Right.
rap.
Like classic
Alternative.
indie,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
I be
alternate-
saying that shit
And
too.
then
I guess
but-
mumble rap is the genre,
But it's
right?
not. It's not clarified as
It's
yet.
not
Like you can go
clear-
through.
Yeah,
you
they
can go
still
through
wanna call themselves
YouTube-
Well,
rappers.
it's a derogatory term to them.
It's
Yeah,
more of a
Just
slang
to-
term and
But
shit.
It
Like,
is,
yeah.
you know.
They have like emo rock. I'm like,
What the
but
fuck?
it's
Yeah,
just rap.
See, that's the problem. See,
It's
they
just
want to
rap
call
for y'all.
themselves rappers. It's like I
Yeah,
know you
I
want
do.
to. You want to compare yourself to
But
the
you're
great
not
rappers of
a
all
rapper.
time. It's like, but you're not. I mean, like, just be the best at what you are, which is this.
Right.
I'm
right.
like, but call yourself that.
yeah.
But you're right about that rock. You know, they do be having like
And it's
30,000
okay.
different genres.
The only issue, the only time I
Screamo,
see
you
an
remember
issue,
Screamo?
Yeah, Screamo.
What?
Yeah, the Screamo.
Oh God, you gotta hear that.
No,
Well, no,
Lord.
Screamo is the lighter one. There's Screamo, then you go to heavy metal, and then death metal.
I remember when
No.
Screamo came out. I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah. But
That's a little bit extreme. for me.
it's just kind of funny because mumble, like you said, mumble rappers is more derogatory from. They feel offended when you call them that.
Yeah.
But
Oh,
in
very.
That's
reality,
what they are.
It's what they are.
And
It's
it's
kind of
okay,
like how
like-
Green Day was classified as a emo punk band, and they're like, we're
Yeah.
not emo, but it's like, but you are.
You kinda
You're wearing
are,
eyeliner,
yeah.
motherfucker.
Yeah.
Like it's
Yeah.
like let's be real about this. Like
Green Day was good though.
Green
Well,
Day
yeah,
was
they
fantastic.
That's
They
what I'm saying.
were- they
Green
were-
Day went through like three
They was
different
good. They
phases
was
where
real
you could
good.
call their music three different genres.
Right.
Well, I mean, when they dyed their hair,
Service?
blonde and
Right.
So that's just the way I feel about it. Just watching these different generations, and I'm like, this isn't the same music as it was back then. I'm like, why are they still calling it the same thing? Like we have modern rock, and there's classic rock.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay,
Right.
so I mean, there's difference to
They-
all that.
and
Call
like-
it what it is, though.
But like y'all said, they don't want to get taken out of the hip hop genre.
Yeah.
Cause who don't fucking like hip hop? Everybody loves hip hop.
Well, it
I
should
don't
be
care what
hip-hop.
nobody say. You like
It's
fucking
true.
hip hop.
It's
Well,
true.
yeah.
Hip-hop-
but man,
hip hop's the term for hip hop is kind of confusing now too, because now
Yeah.
people want to put everything into the category of hip hop.
That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. Like
Yeah.
that's because they just want to be a part of it.
And
No matter what they make, they
song
want to be
nowadays
a part of
seems
rap.
like it has hip hop influences. Even the new country music has hip hop influences.
Yeah.
I mean, just
There's
about
snares in
pop
country music
pop
now.
music
Like-
nowadays is using the beats and everything
That's
from
from rap.
hip hop.
Yeah, exactly.
Drums and
They're using
kicks
hi-hats
and
and
certain,
stuff,
yeah,
and
loops
they
and
need
shit, all type
Country
of
songs
shit.
now, you know. So
Max, when we had like drum and bass and all that.
it's
Yeah,
blended
Yeah.
into everything. Hip hop is definitely the primary genre these days.
Yeah, I mean it's influenced the whole world. I mean you got people in Japan, like in Japan, right? I mean
fucking
they're painting
K-pop.
themselves in.
Let's be real. Like hip hop is awesome and it's very big, but I don't know if y'all seen K-pop.
Oh god,
In
they're,
that
they're
country,
catching up to the world.
That's like religious for them.
Yeah,
bro.
yeah.
People here are starting to pick up on that.
They make these
Korean
young
pop
guys
music?
and girls go through surgeries. They're not allowed to like. They sleep in this little camp and wake up and perform, practice until they form a little band and they go out. Like
Damn.
it's strict over there about K-pop. It's like it's a
In like
talking about
Korea,
like-
you talking about?
Yeah, Korean pop music.
Oh Lord, that's
And
scary.
it's crazy because he ain't wrong. It's
I didn't even know they could make music in
people
Korea.
here
Was it
are
North
starting
Korea
to-
or South Korea?
It's South Korea.
It's South Korea.
It's got to be South, because North Korea, I don't think they're making music in North
Oh,
Korea.
no, I don't think they know what music is in North Korea.
Right.
Oh, trust me, they do. It's like save me.
yeah.
I'm so hungry. I need food.
But yeah,
Yeah.
they're like they sign contracts for that, and they're like saying like it's okay for the company to do plastic surgery to them. It's okay for the
K-pop
company
die.
to
And as soon as you look old, you
K-pop
done.
died.
K-pop
Man, that
died.
sounds like the Scientology stuff y'all were talking
It
about.
is. It's pretty crazy.
That's
He
crazy.
ain't wrong, man.
And then they come over
crazy
here and they
stuff.
tour, and all the money they get from touring, you think they're millionaires? No, they broke as shit. They go back and all the money's to the company.
Somebody
Yeah.
owns their ass. They just want to be. They just want to be celebrities. But you know that's. So what are some other music genres that have influenced y'all in y'all's life?
Me, dude, I started off with like 90s alternative. That's why today I like artists, and God rest his soul, like Lil Peep and like XXXTentacion we were just talking about, because it has those alternative influences. That's why I can appreciate those art forms, whereas I don't think J.Quick so much likes that type of music, but I really do, because I grew up on 90s alternative. I grew up on 90s country, and then once it got to the 2000s, that's whenever I started listening to hip hop. And once I got older, because I mean, you're growing up, like I said, I'm a white guy from the country. You know, my parents, they didn't want me listening to hip hop when I was a kid.
It's gonna be there.
Straight
man.
up.
You can't get rid of it.
But once I got old enough to where I could find it, and like LimeWire came around, it was over with it, you know?
Crash that computer.
Yeah.
Crash that
What's
computer.
wrong with all those
Oh,
viruses?
yeah. Oh, Dad was pissed. Why is my hard drive? What is
I'm
all
gonna
that?
stop looking at porn, Dad.
So
Yeah, it's like I
deleted
swear I
my
wasn't looking
music
at
for your
porn.
porn.
I just pulled up the music site. Yeah. It's
What about
it's
you?
crazy, but
man, it's so much.
I think you kind of mentioned most of yours.
Yeah.
It wasn't until I was
You know, I mean, anything
older.
other than hip hop? Have you ever?
Oh, yeah.
Other music than hip hop that influences you?
I was listening back then. I actually listened to a lot of I'm trying to remember his name. Johnny Cash. I like Johnny
Really?
Cash. Like I really
Wow.
did.
I remember you told me
That's
that
surprising.
before.
I told
You
him
said
that
you like
Johnny
Johnny Cash.
Cash.
You know,
Dark
Johnny
Deep.
Cash was. I mean, at the time, Johnny Cash was kind of like a rapper of that time because
Yeah.
he didn't have a singing voice.
He didn't, and I
Told
really
incredible
like how
stories, though.
Yeah, he wanted to tell
his
his stories.
His
So much
stories,
emotion in that music, man.
They was rare. They was real. They was just so blunt, and he didn't fucking care. And then, especially when they came out with the Walk the Line movie and shit, I
Yeah.
was like, damn, what about Johnny Cash? Like, man,
Yeah,
that
when
shit
you
was
hear
dope.
about what his life was actually was
Yeah,
like,
you
it is
know, and
surprising
it's
'cause, I
very
mean,
surprising.
He tried to sing like everybody else was at that time, but it just wasn't working for him. And then when he did his own thing, it finally worked out for him.
Yeah.
A lot of old music, you know, basically like shit, Muddy Waters, Temptations, Isley Brothers, all type of shit like that. Like,
Isley Brother.
man, I was on that.
Man,
Fucking-
I got a song I never released, man, until Isley Brothers sample.
Really? That's
That
the
sample
thing.
is so nice.
But if you really know music is always going to be samples. So producers just loops from Kanye West to all these guys. They
But
take.
I think Kanye
Yeah.
Kanye started that
Shit,
the
yeah.
huge trend on that one.
Yo, Kanye, man, he had that production stuff figured out.
I'm
But
curious
yeah.
to hear y'all's thoughts on Kanye. Kanye's a very controversial figure in music. Period.
Yeah, man.
You hear some people say he's a genius. Some people are like he's way overrated. Some people
As a
say
rapper,
some people
as a
say he's an
rapper,
idiot.
I don't never thought he was a good rapper. Straight
Me
up.
either.
Really?
Excellent producer. He's still an excellent producer.
He's an excellent producer and everything. But his music, I ain't really listen to his music either. Now,
I like College Dropout.
Okay,
whole
so
album.
what rappers do you like in the modern age?
right now,
Yeah, like, well,
I wouldn't call Kanye modern age. But
okay, so like from the past 10 years to now.
I feel like shit, man.
Well, I'm sorry. 10 years from now is what, 2009? Yeah, that's good. That's good. 10 years.
2007. I mean 2009.
Really, Cole and Kendrick.
That's
Cole
it.
and Kendrick. Them was the only guy I was really listening to. Now, as far as you know, the
No
music.
T.I., B.O.B., nobody.
B.O.B. Fuck no.
hey, that track Beast Mode was pretty nice though.
I ain't fucking B.O.B. Hip hop don't even accept B.O.B.
Nah, B.O.B. is not what we like.
But yeah.
I agree with him though. You know, Cole and Kendrick is
T.I.,
doing it now.
But Young Jeezy
Nick
was
Cannon,
real.
come on, man.
Fuck no. Young
He's gonna walk out of
Jeezy.
here.
Young Jeezy was really the start of trap music. See, I listen to trap music too. I just don't like hip hop. I like, talking about the streets. If you had to sell a little bit of dope and shit, that's cool. I don't mind listening to the shit because I have cousins who was doing this shit.
Right?
Long as it's real, and it's something like I said, you know, me and Nate, we got two different backgrounds.
Yeah, completely
Me,
different.
It was hard. I'm talking about. Then you gotta think about it. You know, coming up African American and shit like that. We ain't had no silver spoon in our mouth. Just like I'm pretty sure Nate didn't have no silver spoon in his mouth.
I'm actually I'm glad to see.
I want him to bring up one thing. Didn't mean to cut you off. You had that plate on your chest.
Yeah, heart
Like
surgery,
you-
everything, man.
What?
I got scars everywhere. I'm talking about war wounds type shit.
Iron Man for a little while.
Oh yeah,
Like,
most
like if
definitely.
he got hit in that, he could die and stuff.
Most definitely.
It was no joke for him.
No joke. So really, music.
I'm just glad to see that y'all. I'll tell you right now, growing up, like I said, I saw these generations around. When Eminem came around, when he first started,
Yeah.
there was a lot of people that were hardcore against him. Who was like,
Oh, yeah.
who does white?
We didn't want a white rapper in the game.
Right?
They didn't.
Exactly. So I'm glad to see
But that
this
was the
change.
best thing that Dr. Dre ever
Let me
done.
tell you
He's
something.
not really lying.
If he didn't have Dr. Dre and 50 Cent behind him, he'd have never made it.
Would never made it.
I agree. They had to bring him into it.
But
They
that
did.
was
He was not accepted otherwise.
But that
That's
was
one of the
the
that's one of the rare circumstances where the white man is inferior, you know, in that sense of getting out there and getting exposure. It seems like nowadays it's like
But it wasn't just blacks that
It's
didn't want to see
easier to
him.
make
It was
it when you
probably
white now,
whites
man.
didn't want to see no white rapper
mean,
either.
yeah, I mean, you
he
had
paved
some-
the way.
some-
You got people like even like Little Dicky, who's a comedy rapper, who's on the radio now. Like
right.
you can say what you want. I mean, he is on the radio. I don't know how y'all feel
No,
about
Lil
that.
Dick is dope. I like
Lil
Lil
Dicky,
Dicky.
Lil Dicky can rap, but I mean that's what
But
I'm saying. Like, nah,
he
he's
has
not.
a co-signer, Snoop Dogg. He
Yeah.
got the OG behind him.
I just
Yeah.
remember growing up when Eminem first came out, and you know, I didn't go to school with a lot of white people. I mean, almost everybody I was around was black, Asian, or Spanish, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, people would ask me, what kind of music? I was like, I listen to this, I listen to this,
Right.
listen to hip hop. And they're like, hip hop? Hey, what you listen to, Eminem? And I'm like, yeah. I'm like, he's
Eminem.
pretty good though.
Yeah, he is great. He's great.
He's
man.
great. He
Eminem,
really
I'm
but
like,
I don't like his
but at
music
the
no
time,
more.
it just wasn't like that.
I'm being honest with you. I didn't like Eminem ever since like that time, like right after Recovery. Like when Recovery came out, I liked it, and then after that, I just don't like Eminem no more.
No,
man.
you don't like Homicide?
Nah,
No.
Man, I love Marshall Mathers. EP.
not Kamikaze.
That's
Nah,
what I
Hom-
like.
none of that.
Homicide.
Marshall Mathers.
I think he's more focused on attacking people to try to. I feel like he's trying to make people step up.
Yeah, to
Personally,
prove that he's a
I think-
very good
I
lyric.
feel like he got so much money at this point, and he's looking at like rap
Oh,
right
he's
now.
enjoying it. He's
And
having
I
fun
think he,
with it.
well,
Yeah.
yeah, but I also think he's like, okay, because I mean, me personally, if I see something that I went through, like this is my road, and rap is my road, and you look back and go, what the fuck are these people doing to this road? Like I would personally be like, well, you know what? Let me try to make them do something. And it kind of seems like he was like in Kamikaze. He was just trying. It looked like he was just trying to hit somebody.
That's it.
And
Just,
for the come out, and that's what
Yeah.
GK
I
did.
mean, how you think the old school people feel like Run DMC? And
And that's what I'm
They're probably
saying.
looking back right now, like, what the fuck did y'all do?
Yeah.
to
they
our
all
legacy?
they all looking back
But-
saying that.
And that's why I think like Homicide is another important piece just for that part is because they're attacking. They're not focusing on one person. They're trying to attack anybody
You know,
that can step up to that level.
But the funny thing is, when you think about music genres, this is the only music genre that's like that.
And,
'Cause you
but
got,
why?
like,
Why is that? That's what's
what-
crazy.
that's
I'll be
what I'm
thinking of the
saying.
same thing. You
listen
don't
to
hear
rock.
people exactly.
You got old school rock. They're like, you know what? I still like new school rock. And then old school
you know what I think
singers.
honestly, you know what I think it is? It's because rock, even country.
Well,
it's a
actually,
band.
I'm glad you brought that up because country is just
But
garbage now.
you're a band.
Yeah, you gotta go. You gotta kind of
So-
branch out.
Rap,
Fine,
you're
good
really
country.
one
Right.
person.
Man.
If you're a rock band, you're a rock band. You
Right.
have rock bands who you have the lead singer in two bands. You have a guitarist who might be playing with them, but he's doing a little album over here, and then he's doing like not Tom DeLonge, Travis Barker, the drummer
Travis
for
Barker's
Blink-182. Everywhere he does,
Yeah.
and it's
he
about
is.
it's just about the music. It's more about the music and playing with people that are good or that you can't
like
enjoy
the
playing
same
with
shit
it.
you like to do.
Hip hop
Right.
now is like almost like a competition.
Yeah,
It
hip-hop
is,
It's
it is,
very
and that's the
competitive.
thing.
I'm
Everybody
like,
want to
why
be the
can't-
best.
why can't
That's
everybody
why it's
just
so
be out there?
addicting, man.
Everybody
Once you
wanna
get in
dance.
there and you start writing these rhymes and
Right.
and releasing your music and stuff, you get to a point where you're like, yeah, I wanna beat that guy, I wanna beat this guy, I wanna do this, I wanna do that. Like,
You definitely ain't gonna see people praising a rapper that's you was with our label, now you on this label, now you on that label. Which one, just like
Well,
with
that's
the drum and
never
shit,
happened.
yeah.
what they tell you about. Like you
gotta
hear
be
people,
loyal.
you hear people say it, but you don't understand it when they talk about like hip hop, it's a lifestyle. It's
It
not
is.
just music.
They-
You
they
talking about
take
rock
us-
and everything like that? I mean, it's rock. You play rock. You
It's a
go play with some
lifestyle, but
friends.
it's a different type of
It's
lifestyle.
completely
It is.
different.
It is. I
Hip hop,
agree.
you
It is.
gotta live it.
You do.
I mean, you can go play in a rock band and do
Well,
it
that's
on
the
your
thing.
side thing like that, but you can't do that in
Yeah,
hip
you
hop. It
can't
don't
do
work
that.
that way.
But that's the thing. You can play with this band that's struggling
Exactly.
and go back to yours
Hop
versus
around.
hip hop.
But once you leave us from hip hop, don't come back.
Well, it's
That's
not
how
just
it
that,
is.
but it's about your words.
Yeah,
too. You
yeah,
can't.
yeah.
You got. You're one person. You can't. If someone criticizes you, it's you. If someone criticizes your band, you go, yeah, but that's just this band. I got this
Yeah,
other one.
I could just leave this band. Ain't no big deal.
It's not like they're not worried about the criticism as much as y'all. Cause when y'all get criticized, it's
Yeah, I mean, look at
it's
directly.
you. There's no one
It's
else
like
you
an
can.
Now they had a
MMA
rock
fight,
band like
bro.
Journey.
It's like
Journey
when MMA
completely
fight down
replaced
here.
their lead singer with
Yeah.
some dude who sang karaoke.
I mean, look at
Damn.
Queen. Queen got what's his name? Adam Lambert.
Yeah.
I like
Yeah.
Maroon 5.
So, what motivates y'all?
Oh,
There's
shit.
gotta be some, that drive. Cause y'all been
What
doing this.
motivates me, I'll tell you right now, what motivates me is I freaking love making music.
That's really.
I absolutely
Yeah.
love sitting in the studio, sitting down with a producer and an engineer and saying, all right, this is the feel I'm looking for. Just sorting through hundreds of samples, finding the sample that we want, laying the drums, picking the drums that I want on the track. I completely am in love with the process of making music and then sitting down and writing to it, and then just like constantly, you write something, you crumple it up, write something, crumple it up because it's not up to your standard, I just, when I get a perfect track, in my mind, I'm like, okay, this track is perfect. This track is complete. I'm addicted to that feeling, and that's what motivates me. It ain't the money, it ain't the fame, it ain't none of
But
that.
when you're in that moment, when you're in it and everything just feels right, are you're not even thinking about making the money off of it or
Yeah.
anything. You're just
I'm
thinking,
not thinking about anything but getting deep into this track, and it's almost like a meditative state.
Right.
Like it
So-
starts flowing, almost like people would call like a flow state, where I just start writing, and sometimes it's difficult to write a track, but sometimes, man, you get the right track, the right beat, the right feeling, the right inspiration, and it just flows. Dude.
What do you find influences your lyrics?
Influences my lyrics is anything directly around me in my environment, and then also just the music I was brought up on, and just like all the different stuff I was exposed to growing up. Like I take these artists that I look at, and like, for example, I like this artist in the country genre for this reason, and then I like this artist in the rock genre for this reason. I like this artist in the hip hop genre for this reason, and then I'll say, okay, I like this, and this, and I'll piece it together and I've kind of molded myself into that. So, just I don't really remember what your question was, but
No, you answered.
I kind of I don't know if I went down a rabbit hole, but
No, you answered. That was it. I was just.
that's kind of where the influences, I guess, come from.
What about you?
It's it'd be a beautiful feeling, man, being in the studio, just behind the mic, wanting to do something that you always wanted to do. It's like, damn, I finally get my chance. I finally get my moment to speak on some shit that nobody knows. They don't know how I feel to be in poverty. They don't know how I feel when your fucking lights finna go off. They don't know how I feel when your fucking dad, beating on your mom or some shit and he left her for another, woman. They don't know how that shit
or
feel.
maybe they do know,
Yeah,
and they're
it's
glad
more
just
of a
somebody's
relief.
putting it down
Exactly.
in the words.
So, when you...
Yeah.
Might
Man,
even get a feeling that they couldn't express themselves.
When you in that zone, you just be in that zone and shit, man. You writing in that fucking, it's like magic almost. I can't even really explain it. Like Nate really just said it, man. It's really, you gotta be in the fucking moment, just like y'all right now in front of this mic talking to us.
Yeah.
Y'all love this shit. We love the same thing, being inside that fucking booth.
Yeah.
And come far as the lyrics, it's all about the story. You can always tell a story. It don't have to be a story. It can be anybody's story. Maybe I want to tell somebody's story because he's too afraid to say it himself.
Mm-hmm.
So you know what? Let me grab it. Let me see what I can do with it. Let me see if this will help you open up even more, that you see that, damn, well, if J.Quick or if Nate or somebody else can tell my shit, then maybe I can finally, boom, say what I got to say. So, yeah, man, music really influenced me. Music really influenced a lot of things I do. Sometimes I walk around and just have a beat in my head, or just start rapping to myself just because I just got the urge to just fucking write and go record. It's like, it's really a lifestyle. It's
The
like
worst part is when you have that and you don't have a piece of something to write down on.
nothing.
Yeah.
And then you
Nothing,
get home, you're like, I'm
nothing.
ready for this. And you're like,
Thank
Damn,
God for
forgot.
cell phones.
Yeah.
Cell phones
Because I don't even
changed the
think
game.
people write
You put
really
this
on
down
paper.
right now. I can
Writing on
record it
paper
on my
more.
phone.
Everybody do shit in their phone now, but
Well, I bet you old school rappers are like, God damn it. we
put
didn't
that
have
shit down. Right.
Who said that? Someone was talking about they had like a napkin or like a book they left at a cafe that had like almost like 3 songs on it that he never got back.
Wow.
I wrote a verse on a napkin before. I was doing for somebody back then. I didn't have no pen or nothing. I wrote on a napkin.
You know, you're talking about influences and motivation. I want to talk about how this guy right here, J.Quick, inspired me to even get back into music. Because,
True.
you know, I started writing when I was about 12 years old. I was just a little bitty shit. And I think I pretty much stopped at around 15, 16 years old. I don't know. I don't know what it was. I lost motivation. I lost the just the will to make music. I don't know. I just didn't really find inspiration anymore. And then, you know, I found this guy and I saw what he was doing on Instagram. I was following him, and he was, you know, working on his upcoming project at the time.
How long ago was that?
Shoot, this
Man.
was
Uh,
this had to be like 2013,
we was
2014,
fucking
something like that.
kids.
Yeah,
just beginning to become men, you know,
Yeah.
like
And I seen what this guy was doing, and
Shit, you were rapping in elementary school.
yeah.
I had everybody at recess gathering
I'm
around
talking
him,
about
and he just freestyle.
just to
it was
hear it.
him and Skittles.
Yeah, he was.
That's got to be a good feeling, being in elementary school and being able to do
Oh,
that.
dude, he used to
Oh,
pull
man.
crowds for us like crazy. Teachers would come try to break us up thinking we're fighting or something.
We just listened
he
to
in
me
the
rap.
middle just rapping away.
But I knew Nate before Nate knew that I knew him. You know.
Yeah, but I seen what you was doing, and I was like, man, it's like that motivates me to want to get in the studio and record, you know. And then I hit him up, and I was like, look, man, I was like, you know, I just hit him up to tell him that he's inspiring me to keep going, you know, like keep doing what you're doing. I appreciate your work and your grind and your, you know, the effort that you're putting in this music. And he was like, you know, oh, I appreciate it, man. And I told him, and then I think he was like, I heard you rap too, you know.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, I do. I said, I kind of put it down, but you know, you making me want to pick it back up. And then I sent you a verse. You remember I sent you that recording. I got your number, and then and I sent you that real recording. And you was like, bruh,
He was
you
cold,
need to
man.
you need to record something,
record.
bro. And
And
then
I-
you were like, we need to get in the studio ASAP.
ASAP.
And so we got in the studio and we recorded that track that's unreleased, but we recorded a track together. And yeah, man, it was a good time. And that's whenever I immediately got started on Spiritual Theory, my first project. And then you released Stuck in the 90s.
Stuck in the 90s.
Yeah, I don't even think that's
I like
available
that.
anywhere
I like
anymore.
the title.
Oh, it was a
But
dope
at
man.
the time, like your music has evolved a lot over
Yeah,
the years.
it changed a lot.
Like he was doing like this '90s old school hip hop stuff, and I love that stuff.
It's still a big
Like,
market for that.
Yes,
People are,
Like,
I'll tell you what, people are craving.
Yes.
People to go
Right.
back to that.
Like when I first started, when I first started liking hip hop music, it was not the '90s hip hop. It wasn't until I got older, like you know, once I was like 15, 16 years old, I started looking back into like, all right, I wanted to know the origins of hip hop. I started getting fascinated. All right, how did all this shit start? And so I went back and like just went back, and then when I got to the '90s, I was like, whoa, this just revolutionized. You know, like
I just remember like Bone Thugs and Harmony and stuff like that.
Bone Thugs, you know.
I remember when
Rakim,
people went
Pac,
crazy on that.
Nas, to me, I think Nas and Rakim is like the two best to ever do it. I think, of course, Biggie and Pac were good also. I think, you know, I think
What?
those guys are all great, but
Tupac was a legend.
yeah, but I think
He always said that. Though.
I've always said Nas. I
that
thought
Nas was better than Pac.
you know
He
what
was.
I mean?
I ain't gonna lie. He was. You know, to me, he was more lyrical. Nas was
Yeah.
more lyrical, but I just feel like Tupac had a very stronger. I don't know. It's just the way he just delivered the shit. It's just
Yeah.
more poetic to me.
For sure,
you know?
at the time, he had the best
Yeah.
delivery.
I think
I'm not gonna say that. I'm not gonna say that Nas had better delivery than Pac, but
think
just
the-
I'm so big on lyrics, man.
Yeah, the poetic stuff when they got a real good flow to their words, and they're very clear, concise. I love when they use real words, like
Right.
when they start using the big word stuff. I'm like, wow, they tied that into that. I'm like,
Yeah.
that's.
Well,
I can tell you right off the bat, whenever my music revolutionized, when I went from writing basic lines to rapping really deep lines, when I found Immortal Technique. I don't know if y'all know who that is. Immortal Technique is like probably the deepest, most crazy, darkest hip hop artist you'll ever listen to, and tells incredible, detailed stories. Dude's got like a 7-minute track called "Dance with the Devil," and it's
Yeah,
like,
that's what I like.
oh, it's dude,
I
it's
like
nuts,
detailed
man.
stories. Like
it's
that's
nuts.
because I fell out of rap for a while because just like you said, it wasn't there.
Look up Immortal
It
Technique.
wasn't there,
Anybody
man.
listening to this right now, like, look, you better look at Nate the Voice and J.Quick music. But right after you do that, you need to look up Immortal Technique and listen to that. Because that's when I found that hip hop music, I was like, I can do this. I was like, what?
Different door.
This is crazy. It just changed everything.
Well, that's how
Oh, new open.
Yeah.
That's what got me back in rap. Jonah Lucas, believe it or not, when he
Oh,
did
hell yeah.
John Lucas.
He's
is
what was
dope,
that,
man.
Ross Capper or something like that, when he talked about the shooting with the two
Yeah.
friends and
Man.
stuff. Like,
Jonah's
listen to that.
crazy,
I listened to that 4 different times in a row, just enticed by the story. Like, I'm like, now to find out it really happened to him. Like you said, he told someone else's story,
Yeah.
which was just incredible. The way it felt like he lived it,
Right.
100%.
That build, the thing about music as well. Like I said, it's cool to, cause these days, people like, oh, you rapping what you live, you living what you rapping, but it's not always about that. Like I said, you can tell someone's story. It's okay to do that.
All I know is Cardi B bought some Lamborghinis so she can rap about Lamborghinis.
So let me ask you, because now we're on the topic of some of your favorites. Who are some of, if you had to name like maybe your top 3, I don't want to go too many because that gets hard. Your top 3 lyrically capable. They don't even have to be the most successful rappers. I mean, that doesn't, being lyrically capable doesn't always equal success.
That's true.
Yeah.
So, I mean, who are some of your most talented that you think like that, but maybe haven't been recognized or have been recognized? Just who do you think would be your top couple?
Believe it or not, DMX was very lyrical. A lot of people
lyrical.
slip on DMX, but he was really, really lyrical. DMX, shit. Who else? DMX, fucking KRS-One. If y'all probably don't know who that is, he was like a 90s rapper.
And like Chaos.
Nah,
Canadian
and oh my god, and shit, I think KRS-One, DMX, and I have to say, yeah, Pop. I was like, he's just my favorite rapper. He really is. He influenced me a lot. That would be my top 3.
Can you imagine if he wouldn't have died? How things would have
I
gone?
will probably be on my knees crying that he's back to this world.
This is a question I never really thought about, but I think just off top, I like Nas, like Rakim, and man, Kendrick, dude.
Oh yeah.
Forget about it. Y'all can say
Kendrick.
what you want, but I know he's new. But Kendrick man.
Is
Kendrick's got some lyrics. I would probably say that Kendrick is probably, to me, the most lyrical rapper.
He is.
Okay, I'm gonna flip it. Start something. Top 3 worst.
Top 3 worst rappers.
Yeah, wait, yeah.
Garbage.
J.
Three
Quick?
people, the 3
It's
people,
fuck no,
not just terrible. People destroying. People that
you're
are
like,
doing
people
harm to
that if you
hip-hop.
see me like, fuck you, man.
People doing
Lil
harm to hip hop.
Lil Pump.
People that
I
are
would
doing harm to hip hop.
Man, I'll put Lil Pump at the bottom of the fucking list. He's just a disgrace to fucking hip hop and music itself. And his album didn't even, he only sold like 21 fucking thousand in a week, I heard. That is fucking horrible in the music game. Him, for sure. This fucking Lil Xan, Lil Pill, who the fuck is this?
Oh,
This dude, he is fucking horrible. And it's not even because, they're white or anything. It's just they are fucking horrible artists. They really are. I like Paul Wall. I like fucking Eminem. Shit, I listen to fucking Nate. I listen to all type of fucking rappers. So that, Forrest Color, that has nothing to do with it.
You got people that want to cop out on that. Be like, nah, it's because I'm white. No.
Man,
That's 'cause
it's
you're trash.
because you're
That's why
fucking
you're
trash.
You're
trash.
talking
man.
about an industry that's completely embraced a
Fucking-
white dude now.
Right.
So, I mean,
Lil
you can't
Pump.
use that.
Exactly.
Lil Xan and who else?
Man, just say it. Lil Nas X, bro. Just say it. I know you don't like the dude.
And him.
Man, but have you heard any of his other stuff? The man.
But
got
you know
snippets
this?
coming
No,
out.
you know this? He said that he don't want to put a new single out. He's going to continue to do a remix to Old Town Road. So what that tell you? You have no creativity. You made one hit and want to continue to
Have
do
you
this
heard
on and
any of
on.
his snippets? Some of that stuff sounds pretty good. I'm not saying that it's great, but
I
he
just
ain't the worst.
don't. I can't feel him. It's not something I can relate. I'm not gonna say he ain't a good artist, but I just don't relate to riding horses.
As much
and
as
shit.
I hate to say this, because it's crazy. Because you asked the question in a way I gotta answer it honestly. I think, all right, I agree with the Lil Pump. All right, I don't like the dude. I don't like Lil Yachty.
I don't like Lil Yachty.
And then the other one
know you
is
said
the
that.
one that I don't want to say, but I got to.
Drake.
Post Malone.
What?
I love Post Malone.
I would listen to him before fucking Lil Nas.
I love Post Malone. This man
You hit a
is
nerve.
this man is so influential.
You say he the
He's
worst?
not making hip hop. And what you were talking about earlier.
Yeah, who was doing
It's not
the most
hip-hop.
damage? He's doing damage.
It's not hip hop though.
What is it?
Damn.
So you're hurting
What
hip
is
hop.
it?
What would you
It's
call
pop.
It is.
This man's making pop music.
He's singing
Well, you ain't
like every
wrong about
song.
that.
He's singing
I mean,
like every song.
let's-
but he's so
I'm gonna be
influential
honest
these
with you, I
days.
didn't know he was
man.
categorized as hip hop.
He was. He
I
kind
just
of
thought he was like
Exactly.
It's kind of like Drake. I don't categorize him. As
It's
hip-hop
funny
or
to
rap,
me when
like-
people try to categorize themselves, but everybody knows they're not. Like, what's her name? Pink. Remember Pink was making music, and she called herself a rocker. I'm like,
What?
she was
Pink?
a pop
Pop
star.
singer.
Fuck no.
Like,
Pink.
She kept calling herself
Pop
like,
singer.
I'm
She's
like,
great.
"Oh,
She's great, but she's pop singer.
Yeah, I'm not. But call yourself what you are.
That's what I'm saying. Like, all right, Post Malone. If he ever rapped in his life, I would have never said that. The dude ain't never rapped in his life. You're not a hip hop artist.
You're right.
And I think that's hurting hip hop. I think that people, that genre is being taken over by singers. And people who half-ass sing and put auto-tune on their stuff. Which Post Malone can sing. Post Malone can sing, okay? He really can. I'm not saying the dude's not talented. He can write a song. He can play. He can play. The dude can play instruments. He's a pretty decent writer. He's a pretty decent writer. He's got an image that's works
Just
for
wrong
him.
category.
It's just, man, you're not in hip
Not
hop,
hip-hop.
and I think that is hurting.
It's fair to
hip-hop.
say that. I think it's completely fair to say you're just in the wrong category, dude. I'm not saying you're bad at what you do.
Just
I'm saying
because, like,
it's just in the
change
wrong
lanes.
category.
It's time to get another
exactly.
lane.
Because like here I am coming up, and Post Malone's got some country influence in his music. Okay, I think that's everybody knows that he's got some country influence in his music. He's got songs with straight strings, nothing, and so I kind of fit into that.
Sometimes when they do collaboration music,
No, I kind of fit in that mold. I feel
Yeah.
you could ask him.
Right,
a lot of my
yeah.
lyrics touch on the fact that I grew up in the swamp. I grew up in the country, but let me be clear. My music is not country rap. It's real legit hip hop. And so
Just
when
have
I
the
see
influences.
so when I see Post Malone, I'm like, damn, bro,
They're
like,
fucking disgrace.
you kind of like messing around with this whole,
Legacy,
your stuff is influenced by country music, and so is mine. And so I don't want people to associate my music with your music whenever it's completely different. And I fear that I'm going to have to, if I want to make it in commercial music, I'm going to have to step into his lane. And I think that's hurting me because I'm not that lane. I am a legit hip-hop artist.
I'm very surprised none of y'all said Tekashi, but moving on.
Oh
from that.
fuck yeah! Look, that's how irrelevant he
That dude's
is. He
about to
wasn't
be
even
in
in
jail
jail,
anyways. I
and
ain't
he's
worried about
snitching
that
now.
So moving on from that,
But
projects.
Joke. I got that.
Uh,
I got a project. I'm going to talk about a project that's out already first. And this is going to kind of be a long story.
Go ahead. We're at 46 minutes. We got 3 hours.
You got 3 hours. My dude, 3 hours. Let's go.
We can do however long we want. He's spending the night at this point.
All right, so let's see. I gotta go all the way back from the beginning for this
Saturday
story.
night. I didn't go to work today. I'm good.
This project that's out right now is titled Halloween's Hiatus. Okay, it's a 5-track project. It's a collab project with a producer. The producer's LLC is Unique Music. So you can look them up. Unique Music LLC. It's UNIKMUSIK. That's what spells it weird, but that's how it's spelled. And we did the project together. It's like I said, it's called Halloween's Hiatus. And the reason that I wrote the project and did the project was it's like a parallel to something that happened in my life. Okay, I kind of told the story as if I was the character named Hal, and kind of parallel to what was going on in my life at the time. At the time, I took a job. It was out of state. I worked the job for about a year and a half, and for a while I was there, I was living in a cabin. It was one of my friend's cabins. No electricity. All we had was, we did have a window unit. All we had was a little window AC unit in the cabin, and the whole cabin was like unfinished. It still had it didn't even have siding on it or anything. It's just like a tin roof and just wooden walls. No hot water. We had a water hose in the tree that we would we would take a shower outside. I mean, it was legitimately roughing it. But, I took the job, and that was the only place I had to stay. I didn't have any money at the time, and so I stayed there. And, just being out in the solitude and being just completely alone and just taking in nature all around me, it inspired the project Howlin's Hiatus. You know, the name Howlin literally means like loner or someone who's alone. And I stayed away from music. You'd ask him, I stayed away from music for like, that was like 2 years.
2 years. Yeah.
I had not released anything. And so that's why I titled it Howlin's Hiatus. But the project, basically it goes into detail about, you know, the issues going on in the world, and I paralleled it as if I was running away from things going on in my life, you know, memories, problems with my father and stuff on the track Whispers. It got real deep, man. Like, I got real into the demons in my head and stuff, and like just things that I was running from in my real life, you know. And there was a point where he gets into a meditative state in the project where he you know, goes solitary out there just meditating in the wild, and he experienced like true enlightenment. And at the time, there's a track called Ego Homicide. That's the name of the track.
It's my favorite song.
That's your favorite song in there? Yeah.
So
it's like the turning point of that project where it was like, hey, you need to look at yourself from a different perspective and understand that you're running away from your problems instead of facing them head on. And then the last track on the project is Howlin returning home to that place that he left, and like his mom sitting there when he gets home, and like all the crops are dead and stuff, and she's like, you know, you left us out to dry and all that, you know. And it basically opened his eyes that to solve problems and to solve the issues going on in your head, and also the issues going on around you, you have to face them head on, and you have to really dive deep and dig deep and solve the problems. And that's kind of like what the whole project was. It started off where he left, went in that log cabin, and then stayed out there for like 6 months, come back, hair's all long and grown out. In the project, in the song, the last song in the project, there was a line where I said, you know, my dog didn't even recognize me when I got home. You know, like just gave you the image that he really roughed it out there. And just realized that he didn't even have to leave in the first place, man. He should have just stayed and faced the problems and dealt with the issues up front. And that was like a real parallel to what was going on in my life at the time. You know, I was really at a crossroad in my life and didn't really know where I wanted to be, what I wanted to do. And somewhere along the way, man, I went down like a rough path, and I made it out to the other side once I was able to look at myself and say, it's you are the problem. You need to fix these problems and work hard at them. And I did it, man. You know, I got through that issue, but part of me getting through all that was writing that project. So, yeah, that project was pretty deep. Howlin's Hiatus is 5 tracks. I'll check that one out.
ASAP.
Yeah.
ASAP Rocky.
And the project I'm working on right now is titled Coyote. And that one, I've usually got concepts for all my projects. The concept for that one is basically the fact that, you know, the coyote, if you know anything about coyotes, they're actually really resilient creatures. I was actually listening to Dan Flores not that long ago talk about how resilient coyotes are, and how, you know, if you hunt the coyotes to try to get rid of them on your property, they basically will just disperse and then reproduce even more. So you can't get rid of them. And so I was like, damn, those are some resilient little bastards. And I thought, like, man, that'd be a cool concept for a project, you know, because I think I'm a resilient person. You know, I've been through some stuff and always came out okay on the other side. And so I wanted to title the next project that I'm doing Coyote, and I'm working on that one right now. So that one ought to be released sometime between now and the fall.
Same producer?
I don't know, man. I don't really know who. I think some of the beats I think I'll get from the same producer, and I'm not quite sure where I'm recording it just yet though. I might have a change of scenery. Sometimes I need to change the scenery.
Yeah, I know.
So.
I know that feeling. Same place too long.
It's nothing against that guy. I mean,
no,
he does a great job. It's just sometimes I like to have new influences on my music, you know, especially when I'm going into a different
chapter.
I guess that's not really what I'm looking for. Like a different concept. The whole project's a completely different concept from a totally different state of mind. You know, at the time when I wrote Howlin's Hiatus, I was at an all-time low, and like now in my life, I mean, I'm like at an all-time high right now. And so, you know, I don't want any of those old memories to come back when I'm in that studio and working with the same producer. I don't want none of that to rub off on me again. It's just
I get what you're saying.
new scenery, a new day and age. That's kind of what I'm thinking.
New
so.
palette.
Exactly.
It be like that though.
Right.
Shit. They can bring
What about you, bro? What you working on, Quick?
nothing as of now.
Why not?
Hiatus. He gonna come out with J.Quick hiatus.
I saw something on your Facebook. I don't know if it was a joke or something. You about to like give up on this or something?
No, I was being totally honest and serious at the time because I wanted to get my life straight for just being a man, trying to get financially straight and work and do things like that. Which I have been being blessed. God has been doing a lot and showing me that hey, He's here on my side. When I fall, He got me and things like that. So now I'm kind of at the point where I can get back doing music and things like that. But as of right now, I don't really have anything I'm working on. Probably a couple of singles, but a project not came to thought yet. But I do have my project, my Honest EP. It's like 5 tracks, just like my bro Nate over here. Like I think we got the same amount of tracks, huh?
Yeah, I think it's 5.
Yeah, five. And shit, I wish I had a long ass story to tell behind it, but it was really just the fans, they needed some music, and I was like, man, fuck, let me just make like 5 dope ass songs and just give it to them. But I feel like it's still a storyline. It's about a young black man out there doing whatever he can to make a way, no matter what it is. If he gotta go through some couple of fucking hurdles and shit just to get some money in his pocket and feed his family, that's what he'll do. So it's more on the kind of grimy side. It's basically totally different from what I used to make, not really 90s hip hop. It's still rap, it's still hip hop, but it's just more like, damn, there's some shit you can really like. It's gonna bang in the car, but it still tell a story. But there's some shit that's gonna make you like, you can cut up too.
Yeah,
so,
it's much more modern.
Yeah,
but it's definitely like substance in his music, which is hard to find, man.
It is.
This modern music that has a modern vibe to it, but still has substance. That's hard to find. And he's got that. And Jerry's got that part figured out. He's got a really good balance with that right now.
Like
it's almost like creating something new, then, huh?
Kind of is.
Yeah.
It kind of is.
Kind of is.
I mean, it's like, I don't want to compare you to anybody. I'm not even gonna go there. But like, it's like if a mainstream artist was with a mainstream producer, but yet wanted to talk about real stuff. That's like how your music turns out.
Yeah, it's really hard. Like it's really hard to explain. It's talking about real ass shit, but I feel like it's the beats I'm picking and stuff. They just slap. They just boom, just fucking hits.
That's something I need to work on, man. Like a lot of my beats are more old school. They're more. They allow for me to lead the way on the track more than anything. But I need a couple bangers, man. That's what Coyote's gonna have. That I'll be watching. Coyote's gonna have some bangers, man.
So what do y'all think happened to modern rap and modern hip hop? Do you think it's been influenced too much commercially
people,
and all?
It's the listeners, man. I think it's the listeners. The listeners don't want to hear that anymore, man. That's what I think. I think there is a group of people out there that still want to hear that raw, just like straight up hip hop. And honestly, man, that's what I'm making my music for. If you don't want to hear lyricism and like
realness, then get the fuck.
Realness and straight vulnerability, I lay it all on the track, man. Yeah, it's vulnerable.
I think a lot of people now are depending way too heavily on the beat.
Yeah,
way too heavily.
Little too, and not putting themselves in it. Like, man, look, everybody buying this track. Yeah, they buying it for that beat though. We could have left you out of that and it would have sold.
Even though I ain't gonna lie, the beat does matter. The beat, it's always gonna matter. Sure. But I feel what you're saying too. It's more about the beat. But you want the beat to sound hard, but you want them to say fuck the beat for a minute. Listen to what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you don't want to rap on no whack ass beat. Because when you picking a beat, you look for what? The best sounding beats.
I'll tell you what, though, it was impressive back in the day when you had some people that just went hardcore without any
beat.
Yeah,
without any beat.
No beat, just straight.
Look at my Instagram. My Instagram's got like 3 or 4 videos.
Acapella, just spit.
Yeah, just acapella. Just me just going in on
That's what I need to start doing,
like
actually.
I really enjoy doing that. Yeah. I really enjoy doing that because it allows my lyrics to stand out like they should when I do the acapella stuff. And if somebody legitimately sat and listened to those videos, they're going to get to hear only my lyrics. They're not being influenced by anything else.
Yeah.
And I think
that's actually an interesting thought, because you have some, like, even rock music, they'll they'll put out a rock song, but then they'll do like a instrumental
acoustic.
Yeah, acoustic version of it. What if rap did the same thing? What if you did like an acapella and then later go back and put the beat to it?
I was just listening
and
to
release
a girl.
both tracks.
This girl I found a little sponsored ad popped up on Instagram, and I listened to her music. She's a country singer. It's an acoustic version of her song. The girl, I'm gonna just shout her out in case anybody else say. Her name's Morgan Wade. All right. Anyway, she just popped up on. I don't even know who she is, but she popped up on my Instagram, and so I listened to her acoustic version of a song. It was wonderful, completely wonderful. And then I go listen to the studio version, and it just didn't hit me the same.
Yeah, I hate when that happens.
It's good. I mean, and it's well produced. It's a good track.
But
if I would have heard that one first, I'd be like, oh, that's pretty cool. But when I heard that acoustic track, man, the emotion just flowed out of that song.
Yeah, Shinedown did 45, and I heard the acoustic version first. 45 is just him and guitar. And I fell in love with that song.
I like shit like that.
And then I heard the studio version, and I'm just like, no.
That's like
it's good, but it's not what the acoustic is. Just so much more raw for them. I feel
like what's it called,
edited.
Tiny Disc or something like that. Does when they be throwing, like, they'll have artists come and they'll like just be them with the live band.
Unplugged.
I like that.
It's just so much more raw because you feel the emotion. It's
that
like
was
more into it versus producing. Because they can be edited.
What was the thing rolling around on Facebook for a while? They had the 9 Inch Nails one where they cut out all the instruments from it and it had him just singing Black Hole Sun.
Yeah, they did that.
And I was like, damn. Yeah. I was like, he should have released it like that.
They did that. Well, they do that with a few of them. They did it with like Linkin Park.
Yeah, they just filtered out. They filtered out everything else. I'm like, and the boys got a voice, and actually the music was kind of overtaking it.
Some of those though, they did auto-tune the voice.
Oh, I'm sure they did, but I mean that's technology we have now.
T-Pain, like they did. Oh, T-Pain without auto-tune. It was like, no, you still auto-tune his voice.
Yeah, but I say this though, man. Auto-tune got a bad rap too. I mean it makes some people who don't sing that well sing a lot better. But it's still an art. Like that engineer has to put in time.
Well, yeah, and like
auto-tune.
I just said T-Pain, but I mean T-Pain can sing.
There's nothing about auto-tuning. Like you actually got to get in there and and produce that. At least that's from what I've seen.
Well, that's different though. Like, have you used the actual auto-tune program? There actually is an auto-tune program.
I don't have.
Have you ever seen it? Have you ever seen somebody use it?
I've seen somebody use some kind of tuning or something.
Yeah, now you have sound studio tuning. That's necessary. That's necessary to everybody. I mean, they've been doing that for a long time.
Except for us, because we are too poor to afford it.
That's right.
Yeah, all of us.
My voice is going to sound terrible when you
sound like shit in real life too, folks.
That's right. So you're talking about acoustic music, man. One of my favorite artists right now is Tyler Childers. I don't know if anybody knows who that is. He's a country singer, and he's like almost just exclusively acoustic. And man, dude, his music just hits home.
I ain't gonna lie, I hate country music at this point.
Well, yeah, because you're listening to what's on the radio.
I don't listen to it. That's the thing. I changed it. It boils my blood sometimes.
That's the same thing for me. I don't listen to what's on the radio, man. That stuff is just not very good.
I feel like they're like, how can we make pop more annoying?
I'll tell you what, radio. Listening to music on radio is almost dead.
Exactly.
That's all.
Like we're gonna go sit outside and drink some moonshine and make some pop music with a bunch of banjos.
The radio now has gone completely.
No, we're gonna auto tune the banjo and make it electric somehow, some way.
Look. You just heard what I said about how I'm so big on lyricism and I'm so big on real legit artistry. I ain't listening to these dudes on the radio, bro. I'm listening to Tyler Childers. I'm listening to Sturgill Simpson. I'm listening to guys that are way outside the mainstream.
If you're on the radio now, it's because your production company or whatever paid that radio station a buttload of money to play the shit out of your music. Yeah. And that's the only reason you're on it. They don't play people because they're the best thing out there right now.
It used to not be that way either.
But back then, when you was on the radio, that was a good thing. Like, damn, I'm on the radio.
But there was a time when they played the best on the radio because that's how they want to get people. And now they're using it the opposite direction. People are paying them to put it on the radio.
You have rappers and all that outside of the radio studio with their come on, just try me, bro. Just try me. I'm telling you, you'll love it.
Yeah, they don't put them on. How much? Now it's like, how much you pay me?
That's it.
I'll put your music on. How much you gonna give me?
And no matter what the song is.
Now the best judge is things like YouTube views and stuff like that. You know, that's the only way to really judge it nowadays.
Yeah, that's hard, man. It's
they don't even play like
because that's. I mean, we're in the same predicament though. I mean, trying to get your stuff out there. Yeah, trying to get your stuff out there. It's not like it used to be.
No, it's not.
Right.
And now everybody can put something out.
I don't even think
it's
they,
like
problem is, man, nobody and their partners want to support nobody.
They don't. Oh yeah,
that's
well,
part of the
they
problem.
want to support you when you're there.
Yeah, but not when they, see you grinding for it and shit.
Oh, hell no.
And I'm gonna be real, especially black people. Black people do not like supporting other black people. Y'all better fix that shit too, cause that is not cool. Goddamn it, black people do not does not fucking like supporting other black businesses.
Yeah, that's gotta change.
This.
That's gotta change.
It does.
If that's the case, I don't know. I'm not really, I'm not black. I'm not in the community. But if that is the case, man, that's gotta change.
It gotta change.
Well, I mean, the hip hop game now, it's super competitive.
How do you think I feel, man? Like the people that I know and the people I grew up around,
Right.
most of them don't even listen to my type of music.
That's fucked
So
up.
that and the ones that do listen to hip hop, they listening to what we were just talking about.
Exactly.
Normal rappers. They're listening to like one of my friends. He's hardcore on Suicide Boys. The boys from New Orleans, they just like it's just some hype.
You know them
hip
people
hop
that
music
got the
and
side of their
stuff,
van
and,
painted and stuff.
I don't even know, man.
Advertising
They-
on the side of the van.
and from what I heard from them, they're not terrible, but they're not good. And he'll tell me stuff like, "Man, why you don't make music like this?" And I'm like, "I don't make music like that."
I don't want to.
And then I got guys that'll come to me, these dudes these country boys will come to me that I'm friends with, and they'll be like, "Man, why don't you make something like Upchurch the Redneck makes? Man, why don't you make something?"
Make what Nate want to make.
And that's what I always say. I gotta block out the noise so much
You
because
remember-
I got so much outside influence trying
You
to
know
come
who
in
really
to
opened my
change
eyes to
my
that?
music.
And it's gonna be weird that I said this because I haven't thought about this dude since I saw that. I did a little rabbit hole on him. Hobo Johnson.
Yeah,
Like I don't know if y'all know who that is.
I know exactly who you're talking about.
Like
He's a poet.
yeah, and he does this little like music. It's almost like rap, but it's not.
It's not. It's
And
poetry.
but it's like it's
That's how it
amazing.
started.
He's extremely gifted.
It's something different. Like it's his
it's-
own thing. No one can.
Do you
no one
remember,
can do that with
no
him.
one
you
can do
remember,
that.
That's perfect to me.
You remember Goody Mob and CeeLo and all that?
Yeah, I know
Remember
exactly what you're talking
CeeLo? They would push him to rap, but he didn't want to rap. He wanted to do this like Motown kind of thing and all that. See that's kind of like what y'all talking about. I mean, it's like
Yeah.
you getting pushed to do one thing. It's like, no, I want to do this.
And see, that's weird because
It's hard though when you're friends, man. When it's your friends and they're like, "Man, I would support you if you had stuff that sounded like this."
I don't know. I wouldn't call that friends.
Well, I say friends. I'm talking about people who I grew up
You know,
around
yeah.
They told you that?
in so many words. They don't want to look at you and say, "I don't want to let." They say like man, like that's all good and all,
I like your
but
stuff,
man,
but it'd
when
be
you
better
going,
if you did this.
yeah, it'd be better if you did something like
Yeah,
that, man.
they
talk
wanna
about
put their 2 cents in.
hunting in your song, man. And I'm
Like-
like, dude, I got so much bigger stuff to talk.
Yeah.
Yeah, I go hunting, man.
And no
yeah, I go
offense, but
fishing.
who really want to hear the hunting and the music?
Yeah, it's like I go listen to country music if I want to hear that.
Right.
Oh, man.
I don't
No
know
rap.
Even the country music I like don't even talk about
That's
that.
what I'm saying. Who
You know what I'm
literally
saying?
wants to hear about that?
I do that, and I don't want to hear it in a song. I want to hear about real life stuff, real life subjects.
Yeah,
I
it's
want to
not
hear
exactly
about
some deep thoughts going on.
deep thoughts, man. I want philosophy in
all
my
I know
rap, man.
is I've cut so many people out of my life since doing the book I've been doing, like writing it.
You writing a book?
I'm writing a book.
That's
and,
dope, man.
Hell yeah, man.
Uh,
What's it about?
well, we're not gonna plug that right
Yeah,
now.
we're
Don't
gonna
plug it. Hey.
interview him.
Oh, wait,
later
wait,
on.
wait, wait.
Okay, it's still in the works, and so I've been changing.
The
a lot,
suspense
but
is
I-
real.
I sent it to a couple buddies of mine, and 2 things that pissed me off. The first thing you said,
Yeah.
and then the second thing, oh, it's good. I like it. What you like about it? I like it. And then you
Yeah.
fucking don't. Did you like?
And I got some friends, man.
It's like fake support that
It is.
they're like they're like, okay, you might get somewhere. I just want to be there to support with you. And then you have the other ones that are like, oh, what if you just do this instead? It's like, but that defeats the premise. So
Yeah.
it's like I cut that shit out of my life.
Yeah,
got
and
to.
I got some friends too. Like I can't sit here and shit on all my friends. I mean,
No,
I got some friends, man, that literally know all of my songs word for word.
Mm-hmm.
But I got
Every single song I've ever released, they know my song word for word. And I got people, really and truly, my biggest supporters don't live nowhere around here. They're on the other side of the world and stuff, dude. And they DM me all the time, and they're like, man, I appreciate you for talking about this topic and this topic, and man, this song means so much to me, and I shared this song with my dad, and like this and that. And I'm like, man, that's what I want to hear.
Right.
And those are the people I'm making music for. And I even say in some of my songs that, you know, like I had one line where I was like, you know, I wasn't speaking for you anyway. Like just talking about, like if you like this type of music and you don't like what I'm doing, I wasn't speaking for you.
Right.
So just skip it and go listen to somebody else.
And
I
I
don't want to
understand.
hear you try to influence my music.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. I understand criticism. There's one thing to be criticism, and there's another thing just to shit on something.
Well, yeah,
With
that
nothing
kind of goes
helping.
back
You
to
could, you could say something about the quality of
Yeah.
like the production of my music.
Well, not just
Something
that, but it's
physical.
like, hey man, I kind of felt like this one, you might have been slacking on it. I'm not like something like that. But when they're just like, well, why don't you talk about this? Did you listen to the song? Where would that have fit in?
Yeah.
It doesn't.
A lot of people don't understand too that all of my projects are made to be listened to from top to bottom. They're not made to be bounced around or you just cherry picking songs. It's literally like How in Hiatus is a novel.
Yeah,
it literally tells a story from top when I left to the second song when you know I realized what a reason I was leaving and things I was facing. The third track, I mean, it goes in that sequence until I return home on the last song.
He good. Okay.
He pick it up fine.
Okay.
So I'm just saying that's what that's what a lot of people don't understand. And so they'll be like, I like this song, and I'm like, okay, what do you like about it? And they'll be like, oh, it sounds cool or something. And I'm like, okay, but did you understand it in the context? And they'll be like, I don't know what you mean by that. And I'm like, yeah. So you really didn't understand what I was talking about because you didn't listen to the song before.
Well, we were talking about in one of our other podcasts where we had some guys in here doing a movie.
Yeah.
And we were talking about how some people trash on like when they do a remake and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. It's like, but I tell you, you don't have to watch it.
Yeah.
And it's not hurting you that they made that. I'm like, the one you like still exists, and you can go watch that.
So, which, by the way, folks, that got pushed back to mid-July. They told me.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah. They want to do a little bit more to it. So
that's cool.
Shit, they got a fucking Chucky remake. I can't wait to see that motherfucker.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm saying. Though, like some people want to hate on other people's work, and I'm like, well, you don't have to listen to it. You don't have to watch it. You don't have to love it. I mean, it's up to you.
Most of them, I mean, anyway, most of the movies that come out, it's always original before that one. So, that's really how it be. Just remake, recycle. Yeah,
but you know how you get these people that are like, oh man, they should have never made that movie. The original is best. It's like, hey, the original still exists.
They still exist. It's still a classic.
Yeah, they didn't erase the old ones.
If anything, it's really showing love. Like, man, this movie is so fucking good. Let's try to remake it to see how it look in modern technology with HD and all this shit. It ain't black and white anymore on your fucking grandpa box TV. Fuck.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah. So, yeah, I see what you're saying. You know, everybody wants to, I mean, we get people want to offer their criticism to our stuff too. And I'm like, hey, if it's constructive criticism, I'm all for it.
Yeah.
But if you just
shitting on it and
shit on me, I'm like, you can keep it to yourself.
If someone shits on me, I'm like, well, you can come on the podcast and talk.
Yeah, why don't you come bitch about it on the podcast?
Come talk about it.
That's what I love, man. I love podcasting, man. And what y'all got going on is a great thing. You know, divided people. I mean, that's in today's world. It is a divided world, but you're giving everybody the opportunity to speak, man.
Yep,
we're trying.
Uninterrupted. Speak your mind. Let's talk it through, and let's set an example that we don't have to hate one another to disagree with one another.
That's the whole point of the show. We just found that when you try to talk to somebody, sometimes they'll shut the conversation down before it even started. I'm like, what? I'm like, how's anything going to be done?
It goes from that to, like, your mother's a whore that I fucked. It's like, what?
Oh, yeah. When people start attacking each other, instead of the thought, the opinion, or whatever else, that's when things get out of hand, and it's not necessary.
Right.
You know, you don't have to constantly attack each other. That's the other problem, because on the internet, there's no personal nature to the internet. You can say whatever you want. People don't fear insulting someone or threatening them or whatever. They don't fear.
I kind of feel like the rap community just took over the comments sometimes.
But that's what I'm saying. When you sit two people down, though, you know, it changes the dynamic of it. You have to behave a certain way, talk a certain way. You have to express your ideas a little more clearly. You know, it's a big difference. And so that's why but we also want to give people opportunity just to say what they're doing. Like y'all say, you tell them what you're doing, tell them what you feel passionately about, and we want people to be able to hear that.
Right.
So, do y'all work off each other a lot? I know y'all said y'all did like one song together, but
that's unreleased.
But me and this dude talk like at least once a week.
Right.
At least once a week.
My whole thing is like, okay, so like I'll put myself in it. For instance, like I have a group on Facebook that I found for writers, and like ever since I saw that, and like people will post, well, hey, how's this look? And I'm like, damn, that's fucking good. No, fuck you, I can do better. And I start writing something else.
Right.
Like,
do you so saying like a competitive or something?
Kind of, but more of like inspiring each other. More like you listen to that, like that's awesome.
Pushing each other.
I know I could top that. Let me go try to top that.
Well, I think that. All right, there's been times where I've heard your music and I'm like, damn, like that. It's so like they have so much melody in your music. Like mine doesn't have much melody.
Listen to his and just like. He's fucking deep. I ain't gonna lie. I must admit, he know words that I probably never heard a day in my fucking life. But like I said, I'm like, damn.
And I'm jealous of this dude's like melodies and stuff, and like the melodies he comes up with. I'm like, damn, like Like sometimes I wish I could get in the studio and do that type of shit. But like,
You know, like
but
every
we're in a
artist
different
have
genre.
little stronghold
Like
and shit.
not genre, but we're in a different lane as far as like the sound of our music and stuff. So there's not like that like.
So do y'all look at each other as like music, like unproduced stuff, and be like, hey, have you tried this or?
Y'all
stuff
critique
like
each
that?
other?
Yeah.
I mean, not really. We
I'm
kind of
probably
let each
different for
other.
y'all,
We
but-
kind of let each other like. I mean, I know.
Just
I let this dude
do our own fucking thing, really.
Yeah, like I want you to express yourself. I don't
Just
want.
exactly.
You know what I mean? And you know, I want the best for Jarius, and I'm sure he feels the same way for me. So I mean,
It's more of a, you know, we
I'd
sending
rather
shit
uplift
to
the dude all the
sending
time,
sending
you
to
know?
each other, and if it sound good, it sound good. If we feel like, you know, we could have did better, we'll let each other know. But it's never like, you know, oh, you should have thought about this or that or that. Like,
it's been rare instances where
Yeah,
I've
like-
been like, man, like I would have changed this word to this or something like that. But I mean, for the most part, we make the music. Like he'll send me his stuff. I'm like, yeah, I like this, and legitimately, it's genuine. You know, it's genuinely I like it. And then like I'm sure there's songs I make that you like, I don't really mess with that one. And then there's a couple of songs that you got, I can't think of them off top that I probably wouldn't listen to that offhand. But most of what he makes, I'll ride to it.
I feel like everything we probably made, we have listened to be honest. To be honest.
It's hard for me to even think of a track.
That's what I'm
that
saying.
I
I'm trying to think, but I can't.
Yeah.
I really
that's
like
good.
everything
That's
he
good.
put out. I really do, because I know that, like he said, you got to listen from top to bottom. I don't have in my mind to that, you know, every song got to be at this pace or that pace. I know that, hey, every song is going to sound different. Every song has its own story. They're going to have their own, you know, lane they go through. So I feel like that's the thing. People, they be so ready to jump and critique instead of just listening and just listen to how it flows together and shit like that.
At least now it's not like it used to be. It used to be
Yeah.
like when people had to put out a CD, you know, it was like you were pressured to put out a bunch of filler tracks. You know,
Right.
you didn't have, you had no
I can't
thought,
stand
no
a filler track.
anything into it, and it was just to fill a CD.
Yeah.
And you got one or two tracks on that they put any real.
I ain't
filler.
gonna
I got two
Right.
tracks that I know. Like, all right, put it this way: I got like I think I got 27 tracks or something like that I have released to the public, and I have 2 songs that are filler tracks. And I didn't know it at the time, but I know it now. And I know those songs, and I hate them. That I made songs that I made, and I know both of them. I'm not gonna say because I'm gonna let y'all have your own opinions about my music. But there's 2 tracks that I know, and I'm like,
Hey,
this track is a filler track. It's gotta go.
There have been artists out there that have put out filler tracks, and they became like their big hits, and they're like, I fucking hate that song.
Exactly. You know what's crazy is you say that. One of my songs that's a filler track that I think is a filler track. People come to me and like, man, I love that song.
Which
And I'm
one
like,
is it?
I ain't gonna say it.
No, for real, because I want to know, man.
He can tell you
I'm
on
not
the
gonna.
side.
Say, I'm
He
not
gonna
gonna. I'll
say
tell you
the
another time. I don't want to say
Okay.
because I don't want to influence anybody of thinking that song. And then when I say it's a filler track, I mean that it doesn't belong in the project. It's not a bad song.
What project is on?
It's
It's a
two-
single.
two
Or
projects.
it's a single.
One's on my first project. One's on my second one. But both of them,
Let's go bother
but both of them, they don't belong in the project. Like they should stand alone. They don't belong in the project. It's not cohesive enough.
I had tracks
But-
like that too.
I mean, one of them, it's kind of on the fence. One of them, you could interpret it that way to make it fit, but really, I wasn't doing
Well,
it.
I think it's more of a filler for you because you look back on it and like,
Yeah,
fuck.
man.
Like that's the thing. Other people don't see that.
Yeah.
You have a more personal.
But I'm
connection.
I'm my own worst critic too, man.
Oh,
that's always true.
that's how it is as an artist. You're going to be your own worst critic. No
That's
matter
why
what
you
anybody...
you deleted whole projects because
real,
you're like,
'cause I
I ain't
wouldn't feel
satisfied
it.
with it no more.
The same thing.
'Cause I would-
Well,
Yeah.
that's actually kind of going back to the point he was making about letting each other hear your stuff. Like, because there's a lot of times a writer may write something and think, man, this is garbage.
Yeah.
And then somebody else reading like, dude, this is amazing. You should
I've-
release this.
Yeah.
I've
but
got
if-
rid of 2 series. I've completed 3 books in my whole life. This one I'm doing right now, which I'm on the final edit, and then I did 2 other ones. Both of them had over 20 chapters easily, 30
Really?
pages a chapter.
Dude, I find that so fascinating.
That's dope as hell.
That's
I deleted both of
fascinating
them
to me.
because I felt like they were trash, and then looking back on it, I'm like, I fucked that up.
No, I'm talking about like just in general, like that you write and you like making these series and stuff. I think that's fascinating.
Oh, y'all do something similar though.
But you need to talk about your stuff,
Yeah,
man.
for
You
real.
need to plug your own stuff.
Once he does his
I am.
final edit, once he
So,
does
yeah,
his final
the
edit,
final
we're
edit,
going to do an
I'm
episode.
Yeah.
offering people to read it right now, like a free read, just to
I'll
give-
read it.
just to give me some advice. what's
Send it.
going
Find
on.
that motherfucker.
Send that
And so-
baby to me.
and
I
then
want to read it.
I'm currently looking for an agent, a literary agent.
Yeah,
Get me an editor, publisher, and
Yeah.
stuff like that. But that's what I want to do with my life. Just write
Right.
and do this.
I love writing. It's literally my favorite thing to do is
This
for
time,
me to.
dude, I'm at work and you're just like, as you think about like an idea or a scenario, and it's the same for y'all too. You can't wait to get like your phone or just. I prefer to type because like when I'm typing, I feel like I have more power than doing this real quick. I'm like, fuck, I'm trying to do it before the fucking idea escapes. But when I'm on the keyboard, I can type so much faster. I'm just like, it flows out and it's so much. I can't wait to get home sometimes.
Right.
What we're hoping to get to is a point where we can comfortably
Do
this as like a side hobby thing, no stress to it. Get a little studio we could set up with the sound equipment, a room and everything for it. Have a nice table.
Y'all heard that, huh?
Yeah, so I mean, we get
support.
Enough people, well, and then we want to get to the point where we're putting out more episodes too, because I mean, everybody has something they want to say and want to get out there, but we want to give them a chance to do that.
But see, that also we're so new that people like it's hard to find people. Two things: it's hard to find people that will come on or be punctual or be like willing to show up. They say they're willing, they won't, and then
people are nervous.
Other thing is, people can comment something but they won't argue it.
Right.
Yeah.
They're like, "You're wrong. How am I wrong?"
You just are a body.
And then like face to face, they'll be like, "Fuck, how is he wrong?"
Yeah. They're like, "Y'all are fucking stupid. Your idea is terrible." Okay, well, come on the show and talk about it. No, I'm not gonna do that. I'm like,
right.
So you don't feel very strongly about your
Well, the
opinion?
beautiful thing about a podcast is you're always bringing new people on, and all these people have their own following. Yeah. And so, like, all right, we get out of here, and when you get ready to release this podcast to the public, I'm gonna be like, hey, check out the podcast. Yeah. And I'm saying the more people you bring on here, the more exposure you're gonna get.
Another idea we have is we were thinking about getting a live mic, one that it's a system where it hooks up to your phone and all. You can record it on the go. We're thinking about going to colleges, the mall, stuff like that, and just getting people to talk right there on the spot. You know, but the problem is you'd be amazed at how many people just are afraid to do that. Yeah. Just afraid to have a conversation in the open.
And that's the thing. People think we're trying to get political, and we're not. We don't. Like, we want to do some political stuff because there's hot topics. Right. But, I mean, fuck, if you want to come on here and say Burger King's the best fucking burger, and someone's like, fuck you, Rally's is, let's talk about that shit. Cause I think
Rally's is better burger.
I think Rally's is definitely better.
I'm all about that.
Nah, I like Burger King, man. I'm a Burger King guy.
Get out! No,
shit, you right. Get out. Rally's is better.
But really, I'm not. I probably ate Rally's like maybe once in my life.
You went to New Orleans?
So, I don't know.
I'm from Metairie.
How about that Five Guys burger, though?
Fuck Five Guys.
I like Five Guys. That greasy-ass burger.
We have a whole nother podcast now.
I like Five Guys.
Whataburger's a lot better than Five Guys.
Yeah, I had Whataburgers in there. I had that in Atlanta.
I tell you what, though, it's hard to say that because you hear people say, man, that place is shit. You know, if you go to a whole nother state, it's like a whole nother restaurant.
The Five Guys in Louisiana is shit.
If y'all restaurants in
you
Louisiana
need to do something about that. That is fucking garbage.
Heard that, Five Guys. We shitting on y'all now.
Like, it's like microwave patties. Get y'all shit together.
I mean, go to Olive Garden in my area. It's complete shit. I bet you come up here and go to Olive Garden. I bet you it's pretty good, ain't it?
It's pretty good.
Like
so I mean, that's what I'm saying. You just go to a whole nother area and it changes dramatically.
The Mary Olive Garden gave me food poisoning.
I mean, you've been to the burger. You've been to the rallies in our area and it was shit too. You come up here and it's probably a lot better.
We ain't got one up here.
It got one in New Orleans. I always go to. It's on Broad Street rather than New Orleans on Broad. That's like
I know the one you're talking about. Yeah, they always busy too.
Always, but they so fucking good. They so fucking good. My grandfather, he stayed right down the street from there. Every time I go there, I fucking walk the rallies and boom.
We went to Acme Oyster House not that long ago, and they tried to serve us. They tried to serve us tilapia. I said, what? And then it was like fish Pontchartrain.
So, did you see that whole study?
How many tilapia they got in Lake Pontchartrain?
Did you see that study that came out about seafood?
What's that?
You order fish from a restaurant.
Oh, chances are you're not getting the right fish.
9 times out of 10, it's not the right fish.
Really?
Yeah.
9 times out of 10,
they're using a filler
fish is categorized as other. They don't even know where they're getting it from.
It's just some other fish, and they don't even really know what it is.
Yeah, I went to a restaurant.
That's why it's always tastes the fucking same.
Yeah, I went to a restaurant not that long ago, and they told me that
all over it.
They told me that the fish that I was eating was trout, and the freaking fillet was like the size of the plate. And I was like, dude, if that's a trout, that's gotta be a 10-pound trout.
I can't even go to Acme Oyster House anymore just because it's so touristy. It's meant for tourists now, and I'm like,
the oysters are pretty damn good though.
Yeah, it's an oyster.
It's hard to mess up.
That Jaeger's place, on Clearview, they have better oysters than Acme.
I know at least 20 other places just in our local area. All these tourist people come down. They're like, oh man, I hear I gotta go here. I'm like, no. I mean, what that hole in the wall place we go to? Caesars.
Oh, that got some fucking good.
It's a hole in the wall. I mean, you would drive past it and think it's nothing.
Got some good ass
and it's
crawfish,
amazing.
crabs.
But I mean, that's I don't know, that's a whole other topic.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying.
Yeah, but see, we can debate anything, man.
But let's
That's
talk
what I said.
about
I don't care where
y'all's
conversations go.
future. What y'all want in the future?
Man, I'm gonna be a famous rap artist. I know that.
Speaking to existence, I like that.
I know that much. That's gonna happen because, and it's crazy as that's not my motivation.
I mean, do you want to stay doing that, or do you eventually want to help other people become rappers? Because a lot of rappers become producers and stuff.
Well, I think that the fact that once my studio is finished in the house, I'm gonna release so much music that's inevitable. I think.
Right.
Don't burn yourself out. We'll solve that.
No, dude, I don't think I can, man.
So that's your first step into doing that?
I'm gonna just start. When I say releasing music, man, I mean like I'm gonna just start working, dude.
Well, no, the first step is like to build that studio in your house.
Build a studio in the house. I'm gonna foam my closet, and I got the mic and everything already. I got the software and all that. I just gotta figure out how to use it, and then once I get comfortable with that, it'll be just production all day, every day. Like as soon as I get off, I got a day job, but as soon as I get off of work, I mean straight to the studio.
You know, I thought audio engineering was kind of a joke when I heard people go to school for audio engineering.
man.
I'm like, what is that, man? That's a bullshit degree or something.
Yeah.
And then we started doing this, and I'm like, fuck, we need an audio engineer.
You don't even know, man. Like, but it's funny because I also saw that too. It's like you go to college for that, it's useless by the time you get out.
Sure, technology keeps changing.
I mean,
Most of them people.
You can learn all this shit on YouTube, man.
Yeah, I say most of them people learned it on their own anyway.
J.Quick, what about your future? What's your future steps?
My future steps will still be living, of course, if God says so. And yeah, hopefully this music does become a career. It does become something to put food on the table, to provide for me, my family, my brothers, my sisters, my mom, everything. But you know, it takes time. It takes a lot of courage. It takes a lot of faith, and just you knowing that that's what you want to do. So yeah, hopefully. Couple years from now, I would be in a position to like just damn man, this is really what I do. I really make music now.
You got momentum, man. You gonna make it.
I want to ask y'all a question because, like I said, I'm kind of new to the modern way of releasing. I knew how they did it back in the day, but now it's different.
Yeah.
Like I know some people they cut stuff and put it on iTunes and all.
Yeah.
How are y'all getting y'all's music out there?
I don't want to say because it's kind of like my plug, but I mean. You know,
there's sites.
Sites.
Just say that.
But we don't have no manager. We don't have no fucking person we go to do it. We do
heard that if anybody wants to manage these dudes, wants to put up
some
money.
We do everything on our own. You feel me? Like I make my own fucking cover art for crying out loud.
Yeah.
I don't everything. I make my own cover art, write my own music. I fucking upload my own music. I upload my shit on my phone. I have to download apps that are like internet browsers and shit.
Y'all ever thought about cutting videos or anything?
He has videos. I just have like a vlog
I have
but
one
he has
music video. I have a music video on YouTube. It's the track is Whispers.
Dope ass track. Everyone.
If you want to look it up, the track is Whispers. I think you will have it in the description or something like that, right? Didn't you say that?
Something like that.
Something like that. Well, you said you're gonna plug it, right?
We're gonna plug it. Descriptions is kind of hard because I mean I can give it in the description, but it doesn't give it a link.
Okay.
Anyways, if you go on YouTube and you type in Nate the Voice, and Nate the Voice is spelled the letter N, the number 8, and then the voice.
Yeah.
And then type in Whispers is the name of the track. You'll see. It'll be the
gonna,
first one to pop up. So
we're gonna like tag it on Facebook and stuff.
We're gonna tag it on Facebook. Y'all
like
heard
I said,
that.
if I put it in descriptions, depending on Facebook's back weird.
Well, we got Twitter. We got what? Twitter.
We got
Twitter and shit.
Yeah, we got Twitter.
We got every social
Instagram,
media you can think of.
I made everything, dude.
Are we on Spotify yet?
Yes, we're on Spotify.
Y'all on fucking Spotify?
We're on Spotify. We're on
Damn.
We're on
Spotify.
I'm on
Spotify too, man.
I ain't know
iTunes
that.
podcast.
You heard that? You
on
degenerate
YouTube.
assholes. You go on Spotify
Yeah, we're.
and you can
Man,
listen to that shit.
y'all want to know something, man? Nate was actually the reason why I had my Stuck in the 90s project.
Ooh.
You remember that? He did me a big favor.
What do you do?
He paid for my engineering.
I didn't know you was gonna get into all that.
Yeah, man. Why not? You did.
All right, that's cool. Man.
Man,
But look, let's be clear though. You inspired me to get in that studio.
So
He felt like he owed it to you.
Yeah, man. Like
And
we
we-
all, we man.
Well, I'm glad to see people helping each
I
other
want the
out.
best for this dude
'Cause
because I believe in this dude.
I was just thinking we got other guys that came on to do the podcast with us, and
Josh.
they're shooting a movie.
I've been talking to him about that. I mentioned
Collaboration, yeah. This is actually a
'Cause they were
good
looking
idea
for,
to get artists collaborate with each other because he does
local
his
movies
movie
and stuff
shooting.
like that.
He might be able to help y'all out with some videos.
He's actually doing a music video for somebody too.
Really.
Mm-hmm.
and he knows a little bit about the audio too.
He,
I need to give- I need to
his
give
last
this guy, man.
his last thing was like he did like him and his buddies did Yu-Gi-Oh episodes.
Oh god, yeah, he actually had a lot of views. Though.
Yeah, it's over
Yeah.
16,000 different views on YouTube.
Yeah, he
Damn.
had a lot of views.
Wow.
It was
And like his trailers are pulling in over.
Is that not the
10,000.
same guy y'all had on the
Yeah,
Friday
the guy who
13th,
did the
yeah.
Friday 13th
Yeah.
podcast. Yeah,
And
that's
like
what I'm saying. It's a
he's
good
pulling-
chance to get people
they're
collaborating with each
pulling
other,
like
help
crazy.
each
Yeah,
other.
man.
Why y'all called it Friday 13th? I
'Cause he's
keep thinking
remaking
of
the Friday
Jason.
He's
remade. I
he's
saw it.
remaking Jason.
Well, I
Well,
saw
I
the
saw
trailer.
you.
I saw the
Damn.
You
trailer.
gotta check it out. They're remaking Jason. He's got other projects in mind too. He's got other stuff.
He-
Oh, so this is some theater shit.
Yeah.
He's gonna have a
You know
opening
where the
night at the
Renaissance
theater.
Festival was? They were filming out over there
Yeah.
for a while.
In Louisiana?
Yeah, this
Damn.
local dude.
Yeah.
That's dope as fuck.
He posted his stuff on YouTube and everything. He's real cool.
Hell yeah, man.
So,
Keep doing your thing, man. Listen to this. Keep
I'm
doing
saying,
your thing.
like, but people can be, helping each other out and all working and collaborating
Yeah.
with each other.
Because we're getting.
There ain't enough of that these days, man.
Yeah.
That's
It
something
ain't.
that me and J.Quick definitely embrace, man.
And that's another thing we're trying to do here. We're just trying to get
Yeah.
people like y'all be able to
Right.
reach people y'all normally wouldn't reach. I mean,
Yeah.
hell, I don't know if you know Jonathan Rucker.
Oh, yeah.
He's coming on the podcast too.
Yeah.
Yeah, everybody
He used to
that
play for
everybody,
LSU and,
everybody comes on the show.
Yeah.
Everybody that spread a word of mouth, views, whatever, shares it on Facebook. I mean, all that
that's
helps.
about.
Yeah. It is, man. And the problem is a lot of people don't realize that if they leverage one another, that they can really propel
Right.
themselves.
Mhm.
And people don't do that anymore, man.
No, it's all about them.
It's a lot of jealousy these days.
It's not just that, but they also see like like Lil Nas X. He recorded that in his closet, and now look at him. It's like, well, if he
Right.
can do that, I can do. I don't need y'all fucking
They
help.
just took a picture with Keith Urban today.
Yeah.
Like,
No, it's like people don't. That's the issue. I think people. One of my biggest pet peeves. I did this all on my own, but you didn't, dude. You didn't do it on your own
You don't do. Nobody does everything on their
You,
own.
like
No.
your manager did work. If you have a manager, someone
It's
someone
100
helped you.
people.
when
100
you
people
first
behind
started,
the scenes.
you
Yeah.
can't make it
Your
nowhere
audience
without the
knows.
views.
That's what I'm saying. Like you can't.
Yeah.
So that's the thing. It's right there, really, in life. You can't do anything.
But
by
at the same
yourself, so why
time-
would you try to?
But at the same time, you have to have the brand, you
Mhm.
have to have the content, and all of the
Right.
above. And that's why I don't blame anybody for the fact that, like, when I talk about my friends not being quite as supportive as I think they should be, part of that is my fault. It really is, because I'm not making music that, in my mind, is good enough on all levels to connect to everybody. And I feel like I could do better with that.
Well,
I feel like I can do a better job at reaching everyone.
At the same time, you're talking about very few people who are able to do something like that. And personally, I think like I'm trying to think of one on top of my head, but like Michael Jackson, for instance, Michael Jackson didn't come into that era until it wasn't like he just popped in and he was everywhere.
Yeah.
That takes time.
Mm-hmm.
And my whole thing is like, y'all, we were just talking about like, Eminem. It's like we're talking about him great now, but like you said,
Right.
when he was starting out, the shit is wrong. We don't want that motherfucker near us, So I think it's all about, yeah, you might not be making music for them now, but when you hit that point, bet you they're gonna flip that script. Nah, I was with him from the beginning.
Yeah.
I love that song,
But
Wait till they hear
Yeah,
wait till
but-
they hear Coyote, because this is discussed big time in Coyote. Because I've come to the realization, I have all the confidence in the world that in this music stuff I'm gonna make it, and that's not me being cocky. That's
No,
me
that's
being
being 100%
that's
honest.
being that I'm gonna put in the work to do it.
Yeah, that's
I know
how
that. I already know I'm gonna put in the work to do it.
I tell
And
him
so,
all the time because like I didn't mean to cut you off, but I
No,
tell
go ahead.
him, I'm like when I'm rich from this book or from this series, I'm like that's gonna be it for us.
Yeah.
Like that's when it's gonna start. Like when it's always when, not if.
Right.
You don't say if. If you really mean
But
something,
I don't
it's
believe
when.
if.
Yeah,
I believe
If
when.
it's for a bunch of bitches
You know?
that.
Well, that's the same thing we
Sitting
said
on
about
the
the
couch.
same thing we said about the podcast. Because like we're not making money, we're doing this. We're spending out of our pocket.
Right.
We're doing it for free right now, and eventually, hopefully, it'll start to show some return. That'd be great. But even if it never did, it's not going to stop us from doing it.
Yeah.
And look,
I mean, it's
I
the
look at it,
passion of
man.
it.
I do a very good job at looking at the people who support me and realizing that's true support, that's genuine support, and then the other people who just say that they support and they really don't. I know the difference.
Mm-hmm.
It's clear as day to me. And so when I do make it, I will remember the 100 people or so that really supported me from the beginning.
I'm gonna drop my friend's name, Charles. We were talking about him a little. That's my boy. He was
Monkey, right?
Yeah, he was my best
Oh
man.
yeah.
He was my best man in my
Sure
life,
was.
dude.
Charles.
He doesn't read. He hates fucking reading.
Yeah.
But when I post something,
public school.
he dropped out. But when if I post something about this on podcast, he don't listen to the podcast, but he'll share that shit.
Mm-hmm. Charles he's a. They mean to cut you off, but
No, you're good.
Charles, I want to give a shout out to Charles, man. Charles and Colin Bazetta as well, man. They they share my music like fucking crazy.
That's what I'm saying. Like they might not listen, they might not be the stuff.
Yeah,
but they sure fuck with share, and that's why I like. They might not be them, but they still support you.
Yeah,
that's good.
If you're working on something that's moving in a positive direction, I'm all for it. Why not support you?
I try to support everybody. You know, I got there's several artists that are local artists that I know that I'm in direct competition with these people, but at the same time I'm gonna support them.
That's what I like though. See, that's that change that needs to happen in hip hop because right now everybody wants to cut people down.
I want to see people succeed, man. There's something that I get satisfaction out of seeing people that I know succeed.
Yeah, well, that was like
just because somebody bought my album don't mean they're not gonna buy yours. You know,
right. And I could care less.
That's a prime example of that. I don't know if you knew about that. How Slipknot came together. They're all from different bands. The people in the band said, "Look, y'all need to meet with them. Y'all need because they were the best of the best in that area." And their bands basically sacrificed their bands to get these people to form together and form Slipknot, which is one of the best heavy metal bands of all time at this point in time. I mean,
that's another debate. Just kidding.
Quick question: what are y'all favorite bands?
My favorite bands, shit. It depends on the genre you're talking.
Yeah, I'm real old school.
What's your favorite genre?
Oh, I don't have a genre.
If
you look at my phone, it's got shit from
I know, I
got shit ain't even in English.
It depends, like I can do heavy metal, like Five Finger Death Punch. I love Five Finger Death Punch. And when I'm ready to punch a wall or something, if I want to be a Kyle, Five Finger Death Punch 100%.
Now old school. You want to go rock? I go old school Metallica, Nirvana, all that kind of stuff.
I like Nirvana.
I just didn't like when Metallica bitched out and started fucking up the music industry and stuff like that. But when you go old school Metallica, they were good.
I mean, you all can debate like you can't talk about that without mentioning Queen. I mean,
well, if you want to go all time stuff, I'm gonna throw Queen in there.
Queen was something in itself.
Queen
was the original almost. If you really think about it, like everything.
So
was different.
I had seen this on the Netflix film about him that I didn't know about Motley Crue. Yeah, it was really good. Yeah. I didn't know nothing about him, but I learned something. But it was really good. They made good music to me.
Motley Crue is crazy, and that movie made them seem like they were even crazier than what they were.
Was it we went to high school with Mesa or something like that?
Yeah,
he was in
Jay-Z.
He was in a little background.
I like Jay-Z.
In the diner.
I think Jay-Z is a top 10 rapper
if you go
of all time.
Really? Yeah.
He went a little crazy recently, but
yeah.
Who?
Nerds, Neptunes. I used to love his beats.
Yeah. I got mine is crazy. You gotta see my iPad.
My shit's like flooded, dude. It's like people look at it like, what the fuck am I gonna know? I don't care though.
Sign up for these music things where you can listen to anything you want. That was revolutionary to me. Because remember back when you actually had to buy everything, I was like, fuck.
I mean, dude, there's a time like when I was younger. All I listened to was
you want the
new
shit you had to buy back.
I love Linkin Park. I'm such a big Mike Shinoda fan.
I was more of.
I was not so much as new stuff, but I was a big Mike Shinoda fan.
I can't believe I was more of a Chad fan. I'm not Chad. I'm fucking blanking.
Chad.
Yeah, it's with Chad. I'm thinking of but I was more of his fan just because his writing. Like y'all want to talk about.
Is that his name?
No, it's not.
Chester.
Yeah. Oh my God, Chester.
Yeah, I don't know.
Forgive
I was thinking of somebody else.
But
when you said Chad, I
is
went somebody else. Yeah, exactly. That's
Chester's writing was just. Like, even, like, he committed suicide. Now, looking back on you, like...
Oh, man. You were calling out for help, dude.
Like, the whole time, you're just
That's
like...
how I feel.
Like, I know, listening to it, it's like, dude, like, you couldn't call out for help anymore than that at that point.
That's so sad, man. Because you listen to that music and you think, like, man, he was just coming up with real cool lyrics and, like...
That's the thing, like, even from the beginning.
But, like, now that he committed suicide, all his music has a different context.
Like, especially, some of the newer stuff that like people that shitted on, but like you're listening to it, and you're no, if you listen to it, like actually go back and listen to the lyrics now, and you're just like, oh fuck. Like when he did his final album, like one of the hit song that came out for it was like Heavy. Like some of the lyrics on that, he just keeps saying like why is everything so like he can't take it anymore, and it's like next thing you know he's dead, and it's just it throws it off, and like Final Masquerade, One More Light, it's just it's sad shit. But you don't get a lot like that's what I like his, and he can sing too though.
Oh,
that was one of the biggest things.
Great singer.
I can't believe I missed out.
He had that hard like he could sing
celebrities-
real hard.
You had celebrities going to see him. Like they wanted to see him.
This man had the most powerful vocals, but yet also had the most subtle vocals.
I mean, him and Jay-Z was the first ones to really do something like collab.
Collision Course.
Yeah,
that was incredible. I remember that encore.
Yeah, and that's the thing.
What?
Jay-Z and
Linkin Park.
Oh,
the
yeah.
Collision Course project.
I mean, I remember when Limp Bizkit did that one with what you call it?
Yeah, but
but I
no,
really,
that one didn't
they
go
pulled
well.
that off.
That's what I'm saying.
Like,
That one
you
didn't
listen
go
to
well.
that and like that's like you said, it was like a whole nother door opened up. It was like,
whoa,
what? Like you can fucking do this?
Yeah, man.
And like you could tell they like on one of the songs, he's like the very beginning. Where's my cappuccino, man? I ordered a fucking cappuccino. And it's like they're all just fucking off, but they formed this amazing album. You're just like, what the fuck?
Yes. Yeah, like that Numb Encore and 99 Problems and Points of Authority.
Yeah, and
like, dude, that was
Lying Away From You. That's shoulder off, something like that. It was.
I don't know. It was incredible.
I loved it.
It went together so well.
Phone. It's on my. I listen to that shit still.
It went together so well, and I'm not 100% sure, but I think Mike Shinoda produced all that stuff and blended it together because he's an incredible producer.
Well, when he did Fort Minor, it was kind of.
I liked Fort Minor.
I did too, but
I liked Kenji, the song Kenji.
Mm-hmm.
I liked.
I liked what was it? Remember the Name was it? That
was a good one.
That was the best one they did, and then Where'd You Go was my. Other.
Where'd You Go was pretty good, but I mean that's like the most popular ones. But he had a couple of
the
other ones that were really good.
Me, yeah.
He also had one where he was just solo. It wasn't Fort Minor. It was just Mike Shinoda. It was a song called Move On. It's really unknown.
Was that recent?
Nah, it's old.
Because he did a recent one too.
Nah, I didn't care for the new stuff that he did, but Move On was one of the songs that I could remember being one of my favorite songs of all time. For me, like whenever I was younger and still kind of new into hip hop, when I heard that song, is another one where it was like, oh wow, like everything he said was so clear and so like poetic, and it was like I want to do that. That song inspired my music.
And that's the thing. That's the thing about me. Like you can't go. I'm sorry, you can't do anything in life without music. Like people
Dude, I listen to music and work all day.
That's what I'm saying. Like it's either podcast or music. I mean,
yes.
People mess with me at work all the time because I got ththe wireless headphones, but I like the over the ear ones. I don't like the ones that just go in your ear.
They're basically this.
Yeah,
they're basically like.
But I wear that like all day, and people want to fuck with me about it. I'm like, I don't.
Why are you wearing earmuffs, dude?
I'm like, I'm listening to music.
But, like,
fucking music.
Like, that's the thing. Like even creating, like me creating, I'm either listening, which is fine. I listen to like K-pop or like Japanese songs because something about not being able to like when I'm creating, not editing, but when I'm creating, I don't want to understand lyrics because I feel like sometimes when I do listen to lyrics, I end up writing something similar to that. I'm like, not with my own stuff.
When I used to study and stuff, I would even listen to classical.
Do you ever
stuff
look
like
at
that, just something with a melody, you know? And
do you ever look at like outside influences for inspiration? Like do you ever? Like I do that a lot.
Dude, I'll see it's weird. Like how do I? Okay, so remember when me and Jerry was probably in elementary school when this happened? Martha Vineyard. The high school quarterback for Ponchatoula or a football player, I can't remember exactly, got paralyzed. One of the books that I wrote that I was talking about was about a quarterback from high school getting paralyzed, and it came from him. And I never knew. I just knew about the story.
Right.
Quarterback that top getting scholarships. He gets paralyzed, not from a hit, but it's from him going to pick up his mother, who's a drug addict, who was supposed to be watching his sister. So he's getting them both from the jailhouse. Damn. And his mom causes him to swerve off the road and wreck, killing his mom and his sister and paralyzing them. And now he's forced to go live with his dad. And the point of the story was to keep fighting for a life, even if it's shit. Damn. And I wrote this whole thing out, and like at the end, I had him you know, because I think he was a junior, and then a year, like he lost his girlfriend, his best friend got together and stuff like that, and like the final pages was him getting off the wheelchair and walking up to get his diploma.
So he got out the wheelchair.
Yeah, fighting, well, believing in something strong enough to achieve it, even when it's impossible.
Placebo effect. But anyway, like I look at like crazy videos. Like sometimes I'll go on like these crazy rabbit holes and watch all these conspiracy videos and stuff before I start rapping. And there's like a video on my Instagram right now where I was talking about like, you know, how I'm like the line that I said in that track is they asked me why I can't just bite my tongue and turn in all my guns because I ain't trust this government since 2001. And that was like inspired by these like conspiracy videos and stuff. But like it helps me come up with cool lyrics.
Dude, I'll be riding in the car like if I'm listening to like, guess they're probably not a Republican saying this, but if I listen to Ben Shapiro like and like some of the news he says, and I'm just like listening to that, and I'm like, well, what if this happened?
Yeah.
Instead, and like, what if this went down? It's like, or what if someone just ran in and did this to the like nothing ever stopped.
Well, you can't that because you listen to Joe Rogan and you listen to a little bit.
Look, I try to listen to Pod Saves America.
I listen to the Pod Saves America.
I feel like they secretly hate each other and want to kill each other. But
yeah, and then they got Young
Turks.
It was very dry.
Yeah, I think
I try to listen to a lot of podcasts just to get a little feel for everybody's thoughts and opinions.
Yeah,
you know, try not to limit myself too much.
Yeah,
of course, everybody's gonna swing one way or another, but don't shut your ears and eyes to everything going on.
Yeah, I don't identify with any political party because I have views from all different.
Yeah, that's how I am too. Because I really don't like government being involved too much sometimes.
Yeah, that's more libertarian.
It's just I don't know, like why focus on that shit? Like,
right.
Do your
I think naturally I'm more libertarian because I don't want people telling me what to do.
Yeah.
But like I'm big on certain things like. When it comes to guns, man, I don't want people messing around with my gun rights. You know, that's one of like my main
Sounds
things.
like you're a constitutionalist. Constitutionalists
yeah.
believe in sticking as
I would
close
say,
as you
but
can to the Constitution.
Yeah. I would say that's probably accurate.
I also do think though it's time for the government to be reformed and some new rules and people be wiped out.
Mention the states, baby.
That's more
Louisiana's
like
already part of it.
That's more like a progressive way to look at it, which I agree with a lot of stuff. You know, I mean,
it's just because we were founded with 13 colonies.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we're way bigger than they ever imagined.
Well, there's also, just over all this time, people have found loopholes. They found loopholes in the Constitution, and now they're taking advantage of them.
Yeah.
So.
I got a question for you, Mark.
What's up?
You watch? Do you do movie scripts?
I was about to ask that too. Have you ever thought of just doing a movie script?
I have.
Some of that stuff translates better to a movie.
Dude, I've got the greatest movie idea.
I have one too, and I'll tell you right now, it's something. It's a comedy for me, but I feel like some people would take it heartfelt.
Same here.
A flaming gay UFC fighter to win the championship.
Yeah,
walking out for the championship is him. Britney Spears' Toxic is playing. He's coming out and it's like black execution, and he has two men dressed as slaves, like the black mask slaves, people with the holes, have chains on them, and they're walking like dogs, and he's just whipping them coming out.
That is hilarious.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I had that whole script written for that too. It's somewhere in that laptop.
That is hilarious.
But I've written.
I don't know if I want to say what my movie script is, but like we need to talk. It was a dream that I had.
I've done that before.
And it was, dude, I woke up and immediately started writing it down.
Mm-hmm.
Because, I forget stuff. Like, I have an incredible dream, go to work, and then I'll be like, all right, I have no idea what that dream was.
Movie scripts are not hard, but different to write.
Yeah.
Because you have to kind of... You're writing the emotion, but you're not writing it for them to feel, you're writing it for them to act. So... You can write something, and so you're not gonna control how they feel when you like y'all know that when y'all rapping, like someone like you can say something hardcore, but then they start feeling like, damn, I felt that though, Yeah. Instead, you're gonna have to describe to them how to make them feel for that scene. So it's a little different, but
I think another part of that is when you put it on paper, it seems like so much, and then when it translates to screen, you're like, wow, that was fast. Yeah. You're like, man, that was like 10 minutes of a movie.
Mm-hmm. Try to fucking write a movie script. It seemed like so much to write. I don't say Ice Cube did the shit.
Yeah. I would share it with you though. If you're interested in writing a movie script.
I have a buddy that wanted me to do a musical. I'm like, hey, I'm down to try anything. He wanted to do a musical Scott Pilgrim versus the World.
Oh, I like that. I like
And
that.
so I was like, hey, I'd be down to do it. He's like, would you help me? I was like, hell yeah, I'll fucking help. Why not?
That was an underrated movie.
It really was. That's what Michael
Girls,
Cera, huh?
Oh,
Don't get me started on that.
What's his name? Michael Cera.
Yeah.
That's him. Huh?
Yeah, that's his name.
I keep every time I hear that movie, I think of Brie Larson.
What the hell?
Where's
Who's
my-
that?
She's the girlfriend. in
The
there.
girlfriend.
Oh yeah.
Captain Marvel.
Yeah. We're never getting that. But anyway, so where can we find y'all stuff?
Well, my link to my latest music videos in my Instagram. I think most of my stuff be better off looking on Instagram or Facebook. My Instagram is Hold On to Your Butts. It's
I thought that was it. I was like, what?
hold on to your butts because this is complicated. It's the letter N, the number 8, underscore, the underscore voice underscore. That's my Instagram. You can find me there. And then my Facebook is just Nate. N and then the number 8. So, yeah.
Twitter?
I got a Twitter. Let me see. I think it's the same as my Instagram.
Do you use Twitter?
I barely use Twitter, man. I cannot stand Twitter.
Fucking, he probably got
I
a
hate
month
Twitter too, but you
span
gotta
worth
be
of
active
every
on
tweet.
it.
I know, man. That's part of my problem.
You know what's funny? I'm more active on the Divided People Twitter than I am on mine.
Well, dude, that's part of my problem is that I'm really just
hate it.
I'm such like a
I think that's what Twitter's being used mostly for.
Well, that's the
It's
thing.
used commercially more than it is.
My issue with
commercial.
Twitter is like you can't really explore other people. Whatever you follow is constant there.
And you can't express enough.
Yeah.
It limits how much you type.
Unless you're
it's,
Trump. I don't know how he does it.
Unless you
You're
Who
Trump.
does it?
Trump tweets probably every
Dude,
fucking
tweets
hour.
every
I just don't
every
understand
day.
how he
hilarious.
can.
How are you not focusing on fucking president shit?
Not even
but you're
that,
tweeting?
but like he conveys it in such. I'm like, dude, like
Queen of England.
You're pretty-
Wait, hold on.
You're-
I got
That's
to tweet
hilarious.
it.
I'm about to say you're pretty. Not even that though. Like he gets his point across. I'm like, it's pretty smart how he like. It's stupid, but it's smart how he can say 2 words and everyone's like, what the? I didn't know exactly what he meant. Like off of that, I'm like, damn, that's okay, man. Like you got that down pat somehow.
You conveyed a lot in those 2 words.
Yeah.
yeah. Trump's got a formula that's working for him. Just keep doing it, I guess.
Everybody fine.
So what's
Good
your
for
Twitter?
him.
Sorry.
My Twitter is it's Nate and it's wrote out NATE underscore the underscore voice.
YouTube.
YouTube, you can find me. Just go to the link in my Instagram because I only got one music video out. So just go to the link in my
You can probably just
Instagram.
search it, no? You probably
Yeah, you can
search
just search it. It's Nate the Voice, and it's N and then the number 8.
And the music platforms we can find you on.
Every platform. Every platform. My latest project is on every platform.
J.Quick.
Oh shit. I'm fucking tired, y'all.
Really?
Anyway, shout out to the Divided People, man. It was an honor to be here. Thank y'all 2 guys so much. You know, Mark and Mark, we go way back since high school. It was good to see you. Look good, baby. But yeah, man. Instagram, I am J.Quick. Shit, Twitter, I am J.Quick, all together, no underscores or anything, spelt the correct way, Quick. Fuck. Yeah, music available on all platforms as well. Just type in J.Quick as my artist name and shit, everything will pop up. My YouTube is Real Quick Music. Yes, that is RealQuickMusic. Real Quick Music. I have a vlog on there, but I also have audio as well on there.
So you've done this once or twice.
yeah. So yeah, and that's it.
I like
Music,
that real quick music.
music available on all platforms. Like I said, Spotify, Apple Music. Fuck. I think they got some app called Deezer for like
Got everything. You got Amazon Music, Google Play.
all that shit. We on all that
Spotify.
shit,
We
man.
on everything.
Look,
We
we
on
on every
everything.
fucking thing.
How into hiatus. My project is on everything. I know that.
Go get that, you know.
Well, we are the Divided People. Go rap about it. How was that? Was it everything you thought it would be? It was everything I thought it would be, and more. Hope you liked this. If you like this video, give us a like on YouTube or any other platforms. Rate us on podcasts too, guys. I would like to see us 5 stars or 1 star if we deserve it. I'm all about improvement. Like I said before, if you want to contact us, be on the podcast, we're on all social medias. Don't be afraid to check them guys out too. They are working hard. I'm really inspired by them. I mean, dude, they work in day jobs, and then after they come home and they write down, rap nonstop. I mean, come on, guys. They're going to be famous one day. That hard motivation and everything. Really hard for people to do that nowadays. And so I'm really, like I said, inspired and motivated seeing them do what they do. So check them out, guys, too. And yeah, we are the Divided People. Y'all have a good night.